You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News This Morning, a shooting near a South Nashville bar left 6 people wounded, and the shooter was out on bond at the time. We're going to tell you what we know so far. Plus, a sad story that happened involving a TSU football player that was killed after he was hit by a car. We're told he was pushing his girlfriend out of the way to save her life. We'll have the latest details in just a few.
And waking up here to temperatures that are very warm. Yesterday was close to record-breaking heat. How long that's going to stick around before our next chance for thunderstorms in your forecast?
Thank you, Greg, and thank you for watching us right here on Fox 17 News This Morning. It is Monday, April the 15th, and I'm Justin McFarland. We do begin with some breaking news this morning. As Metro Police are investigating a shooting, this time in North Nashville, left 1 person hurt. The shooting happened last night on the 2600th block of Shelbyville Street. That's near the campus of Tennessee State University. 1 person was taken from the scene for some treatment. We are still trying to gather some more information about exactly what happened, but as soon as we get it, we'll pass it along to you right here on Fox 17 News This Morning. New information this morning in Operation Crime and Justice. A woman is behind bars after police say she shot and killed her own brother. The shooting happened on Levy Lane on Sunday afternoon. Metro Police say that Monica Wilson and her brother, Michael Wilson, were arguing over money. That's when Monica shot Michael. Monica has now been charged with criminal homicide. The investigation does continue. News from Operation Crime and Justice. 6 people are shot as a convicted felon is now under arrest. We're told the gunfire broke out yesterday at a bar over in South Nashville. Now, it happened at the Soho Lounge just off of Bell Road yesterday morning. Police say they saw the 24-year-old Eric Williams holding a gun. Investigators say 6 people were shot in all, a lot of them in stable condition right now. They believe at least 2 people at the scene are responsible for those shots being fired, but they have not named another suspect yet. Williams, in the meantime, is facing 6 counts of felony, reckless endangerment, and unlawful possession of a gun by a felon. By the way, he was out on bond for a previous case of reckless endangerment when that shooting happened.
It happened so fast, but yeah, he pushed me out the way, and I think he got the blunt of it all.
A beloved Tennessee State University football player is killed in a hit and run that happened in Englewood, pushing his girlfriend out of the way of a car to save her life. We're told that Shazon Page played for TSU as well as Lipscomb Academy, honored across the TSU community and by his loved ones right here in Nashville. Police are now searching for the driver that went speeding away, who witnesses say didn't even stop. Now, Metro Police say that Shazon Page was walking his girlfriend and some other friends to their car. Happened early yesterday morning. They were crossing Gallatin Pike near Marion Avenue. That's in the Englewood neighborhood. That's when they say that's when police say that a red sedan or possibly small SUV went flying down Gallatin Road very close to them. Shazon's girlfriend, who we spoke to, say that he pushed her out of the way to save her life, but took the brunt
He
of the
pushed me
hit.
out the way. We were walking, but I was on the side where the car was. I don't know how it got situated to where he pushed me out the way, but because it happened so fast. But yeah, he pushed me out the way, and I think he got the blunt of it all.
That deadly impact ended the offensive lineman's promising future. He was studying to become a sports physician therapist, or a sports physical therapist, excuse me. The family and friends are left with nothing but grief there in the TSU community. Of course, as soon as something else happens with this case, we'll be sure to pass that information along to you. For right now, we're going to check in on your Monday forecast. Greg Bulb is standing by.
Hey, good morning. Yes, we're here at 4:04. Yesterday was almost a record-breaking day. We'll take a look at how warm we clicked up on the thermometer here. Warmest day so far this year. And today we'll continue staying warm, near record-breaking heat again. Mild morning temperatures starting off in the 50s to near 60. Severe chances for storms are going to be there later this week, and that chance is very slow moving, and it's also very small. So we'll take a look at what we're going to keep our eyes on here for you. As far as yesterday goes, 87 degrees was the high temperature, only 2 degrees shy of the record set back in 2017. So that's some impressive air right there. 60 degrees clear right now, and it's going to stay that way for the first half of today. Clouds will build during the afternoon. Don't worry about rain today. Nothing there in that department. 65 degrees in Murfreesboro, 61 in Columbia, and 64 in Lewisburg. We're warm everywhere, and every morning for the rest of this week until Friday morning will be in the 50s and 60s. So a very warm start and a very warm end the next couple of days. Look at the 7-day forecast. If this holds true, and I know we're right near 80 for a couple of those days on Wednesday and Friday. If we get enough daytime heating, we could have 5 more days in a row at or above 80 degrees. We'll talk about that Wednesday storm chance coming up in just a couple of minutes. Right now, look at your traffic this early Monday morning.
All right, let's take a look at what we've got going on out there. This is going to be I-40 at Dallas and Pine, close to the airport. As you can see out there, traffic moving along just fine. No big problems in either direction right now. We will be sure to pass along any more information to you if we pick up anything else on the traffic front. But right now, we're looking really nice as we get out the door this morning. We'll give you the very latest updates with Steer Clear Traffic live and local through 9. We are looking ahead to the legal battle over the release of the Covenant school shooter's writings, as that will continue tomorrow as a judge will hear arguments from both sides about whether or not the writings should be released to the public. Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey on the scene outside of the Metro Courthouse, as we're going to tell you a little bit more about this case right now. You can see him there outside the Birch Building. The National Police Association, as well as the Tennessee Firearms Association, as well as the Tennessean newspaper, the Tennessee Star newspaper, and Senator Todd Gardenhire have now all advocated for the release of the Covenant school shooter's writing. Audrey Hale is the name of the shooter. On the other side of this issue are the Covenant school family, as well as the congregation. This morning, the Covenant school parents, along with Melissa Alexander and Mary Joyce, will be holding a press conference concerning the recent bill that passed through the Tennessee Senate that would allow teachers to be armed at schools. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chen will be joining us later this morning to break down exactly why each side is so locked in this legal battle. Well, coming up, the first criminal trial of former President Trump begins today. We're going to tell you what you can expect from the first of 4 court cases.
But we reached out to the district attorney demanding answers. Now the DA is looking into the case again. Fox 17 News alerts, empowers, protects.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Jury selection begins today in New York for the criminal trial of Donald Trump. The former president is now being charged with falsifying financial records before his 2016 election campaign to hide the payment to an adult film star. Now, this marks the first time that a president or former president will be facing crimes of a criminal trial. It is the first of 4 cases against the former president. He's also facing election interference charges in federal court as well. That is in Washington, as well as in the state of Georgia. Trump's 4th case involves his alleged mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago resort. That is a federal case. The House is now preparing to vote this week on Israeli support legislation in response to Iran's attack on Saturday. Now, the majority leader, Steve Scalise, announced his plans in a statement yesterday, saying that the chamber will instead consider legislation that, quotes, supports our ally Israel and holds Iran, its terrorist proxies, accountable. The Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, is now urging the House to take up a Senate-approved foreign aid package that includes military support for Israel, Ukraine, and Taiwan. But in an appearance on Fox News Sunday, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, says that his party is crafting their own package.
The House Republicans and the Republican Party understand the necessity of standing with Israel. We are going to try again this week, and the details of that package are being put together right now. We're looking at the options and all these supplemental issues.
The Speaker did not say whether or not Ukraine will be included in that bill. Previous GOP efforts to pass a standalone Israel aid package after the October 7th attack there have not been able to pass due to Democratic opposition. Metro Police are getting some new wheels to fight crime. Some officers at the Central Precinct are going to be hitting the streets on these brand new volcanic electric bikes. How about that? Metro Police posted on Facebook saying that the officers are loving the speed of these new e-bikes. Some Metro officers from around the city also recently completed a special cyclist training course for working on traditional mountain bikes. How cool is that? Maybe it's a good day for a bike ride. Let's check in with Greg.
You know, you just gave me that idea because it really absolutely is a great day for one. We'll take a look at that in a moment. Also, right there, a live look downtown, 60 degrees right now. Good morning, Nashville. We'll see you in a few minutes here and talk about some storms for the middle of your week.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Spence Lane. We're wide open as we get started on this Monday morning. We'll see how much longer traffic like this will last. Plus, coming up, not much time left for lawmakers.
You won't believe how far the Family Guy season finale goes.
You got this. You got this. I trust you, bro.
Wednesday at 8 on Fox 17.
4:15 is the time. Live look there over downtown Nashville, Tennessee, as we get started with yet another week here. Of course, today is April the 15th. It is tax day for a lot of people out there across the country. So that deadline is finally got you. If you're not prepared to do so, I'm sure we'll do a lot more to talk about tax day and what it means. Coming up here a little bit later as we're live with you through 9. This morning's crisis in the classroom. The clock is ticking on the school choice matter here in the state of Tennessee. The legislative session is expected to end in just a matter of days, while the voucher bill has 3 different versions being proposed by the governor, the House, and the Senate. The Senate's version aligns more with the governor's. Meanwhile, members of the House are now pushing for some changes.
Reduce testing, more time to teach, less evaluations on our educators so that they can spend more time to teach. More flexibility in how we do our interventions with our students.
Some Democratic members of the House do not want to see this bill passed and are not as confident that it will.
From my understanding, there is still a pretty wide disagreement between the Senate and the House on that bill for various reasons. So I hope that we can adjourn sine die and that bill, stays where it is now.
Representative John Ray Clemens of Nashville refers to this bill as a voucher scam. The Democrat believes it will undermine public schools. On the other hand, Governor Bill Lee telling Fox 17 News that he's hopeful that the bill will pass before the session ends. In the meantime, Representative Sapicki says that the bill will be heard in a subcommittee coming up tomorrow, and they are pushing to get the vote on the floor before the session ends. Leader Johnson says the Senate is hoping to do the same thing. Well, Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in our schools and finding solutions. If you have a story you think we should be looking into, you can send us an email. You can find us at news@fox17.com or call our tip line 615-266-4149. Well, spring has sprung, and so have the allergies, as I'm trying to contain a sneeze right now. Tree pollen is currently very high out there across the state. As you may have seen some things coated in yellow lately. Right now, everything is in bloom and blowing those allergens around. Tree pollen is expected to remain high for the next few days, and grass pollen is expected to be very high both today and tomorrow. Now, we've got some advice for you. Try to help you get control and manage your spring allergies. Try to shower after working in the yard. Also, close those windows and use AC if you want to help your filter in your home. Also, keep nasal sprays and medication on hand, and check with us for your forecast. Greg Bobus has always got you covered as you want to avoid being outdoors for a long period of time in those high allergen days. Let's get to Greg right now.
I got
Greg,
you if you need me later.
You just throwing the box up there.
Just on standby. We're going to all be needing it here.
Gotcha.
Because, Justin, here's how it goes when it comes to, they put a number to everything, right?
Yeah.
So the scale is 0 to 12 when it comes to allergies.
Okay.
We're at an 11.5 the next 5 days.
11.5.
So we're not completely showing off.
We're almost broken the scale.
You don't get much higher than that.
Jeez.
So this is, I mean, we're going to be rough the entire week. And the fact we're going to be breezy, too, on top of it. Yesterday was windy. Today is going to be windy. So we're churning up all that pollen, and we're just letting it swirl around all around of us. So, yeah, if you weren't out of town over the weekend, you did not escape the allergies. They're going to keep sticking with us here all week long. Nothing else to worry about today. Getting the kids on the bus here later today for first bell at 66 degrees, 86 after school. Yesterday, we almost broke a temperature record. We missed it by 2 degrees. Today, we're going to be close again. More sun than clouds, no rain. Wind gusts around 20 miles per hour, so that's not going to help the allergies for us today. And we mentioned before the break, biking. Today, a good day for it. Every orange bar you see right there is almost off the scale here. We're in the 80s for most of this afternoon. It's a comfortable 80. At least we're at that time of the year where we don't have a lot of humidity to work with. Give it about a month. This is your first time going from spring into summer here in Middle Tennessee. Get ready for it. 80s, you're going to wish we had 80s by the end of July when we get back toward 90s and 90s and 90s. 71 at BNA at 9 a.m., 86 degrees at 3 p.m. No problems right now on the big board as far as any major causes for concern for cancellations or delays.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you out and about to I-40 at Spence Lane. This is over on the east side of town. Traffic over there moving along very nicely. No big delays in either direction out there so far this morning. We do have one disabled vehicle happening on I-24 very close to Bell Road, but not causing a big delay or disruption out in that direction. We'll continue to follow things for you, let you know what we find with Steer Clear Traffic live and local with you through 9. What's happening today, the Nashville Rescue Mission is celebrating its 70th anniversary. 70 years in business is what I'm trying to say. And they're having a recent expansion. The organization has been feeding and housing people dealing with homelessness across the city since 1954. Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker is giving us a live look from their brand new building. The new Women and Children's Campus was recently completed. It can house up to 300 guests a day and serve 650 meals. The Men's Center and the Women's Center are being named after Linda and Mike Curb, who have offered lots of support for funding the expansion. Mike Curb is a very influential Nashvilleian. He's the founder and chairman of Curb Records. The Curbs, along with Mayor Freddie O'Connell and the Nashville Rescue Mission's president, are expected to speak at their dedication ceremony at 9 a.m. this morning. Well, coming up in just a few. And it's a big win.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
4:23 is the time. The Vols' fourth year under their head coach Josh Heupel is already happening up there at Rocky Top as the Vols wrapped up their annual orange and white spring game on Saturday, where we got to see some of the Vols' shiny new players, including their brand new starting quarterback. And one touchdown. He said afterwards he's taking a lot of steps forward this spring.
Learned a lot, man. You know, I think that bowl game helped me out a lot tremendously, just, being a full starter for a full game. And, I carried that over to this offseason this spring. And, really just improving with my teammates. We've got a couple new guys from the portal, so, just getting them up to par with, our offense and our tempo.
All right, just a few days before the Vols hit the practice field, all eyes were on Augusta National yesterday for the final round of the Masters. Coming into the day, it was Scottie Scheffler, who was the world's #1 player. He held just a one-shot lead and proved why he may be the next young star in the sport. The 27-year-old was the favorite to win the tournament. Despite 3 other golfers chasing him down, Scheffler stayed calm. Fired the best shot of the tournament right here on hole number 9. Look at it roll. Look at it roll. Look at it roll. Oh, just missed it. It would set him up for a birdie, though, to reach 8 under. Scheffler finished 11 under for the tournament and secured his second green jacket in 3 years. Just in case if you were wondering, Tiger Woods finished 16 over at the Masters.
Taking a look, 4:25 your time. Taking a look at the forecast going forward now. We'll use Future Track. Today, no rain to worry about. Today, just kind of on and off with some cloud cover that'll increase late morning into the early afternoon. And that's pretty much it. Highs will still once again be in the mid to upper 80s. Your Tuesday all day looks good, so we'll just fast forward to the important things. Here's Tuesday night, 11 p.m. taking us into Wednesday morning. There is a chance, and this is not looking all that well put together by any means, we could see a few thunderstorms overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. I'm a little more concerned about Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours when we can see our next chance for some potentially stronger storms. We're still a good 2.5 days away from that getting our direction when it comes to the timeline, but we'll keep our eyes on it for you. 87 later on today. That's what we hit yesterday. 2 degrees shy of a record yesterday. Didn't quite get there, but still warm enough. Taking a look, very warm. Also windy. The wind has been there the last couple of days. That's going nowhere. So maybe you need to mow the lawn. When you're doing so, if you have allergies and you're mowing the lawn, good luck after. Good luck after. The immediate shower is going to be helpful for you. But yes for today, yes for tomorrow. If you wait till Wednesday, you're going to wait till a little bit later in the week, as that will be our next potential chance for some storms across the board.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get you to I-40 at Spence Lane over on the east side of town. The TDOT camera's looking for something. I don't know what they're looking for exactly, but they're panning around and have been doing so over the last 30 seconds or so. This is not the set shot they've got for this particular camera, so I'm unsure exactly what they're looking for, what's going on, but they wouldn't be moving the camera for nothing. They must have a report of something happening out there. So just heads up on I-40 at Spence Lane there on the east side. As you can see, traffic seems to be moving along, but again, that TDOT camera has been panning around over the last few moments looking for something, and as soon as they find it, we'll be sure to let you know, as we're live and local with you through 9. Well, coming up, a road rage shooting has left a motorcyclist dead and another person hurt. We're going to tell you what police say happened this weekend. Plus, the Nashville Predators are headed to the
Real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation.
Relying only on drops? Not me. My own real tears are my relief.
Ask your eye doctor about Tearvia.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
The Nashville Predators are playoff bound. Their matchup against the Pittsburgh Penguins and what it could change before the standings are finally set.
Look at our forecast for this morning, starting off very mild by the middle of the week. Our next chance for some potential stronger storms we'll look at coming up in your Code Red forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-65 at Trinity Lane on the north side. Things moving along just fine. We're going to give you the latest look on anything else happening across the mid-state coming up with the rest of your traffic report. Good morning. Thank you for joining us here on Fox 17 News this morning. It is April the 15th on a Monday morning. I'm Justin McFarland. We're going to begin with a shooting that took place last night in Hopkinsville that left 3 young people and 1 adult who ended up being hurt. Now, the Hopkinsville Police Department say that more than 1 shooter was involved in an exchange of gunfires, what they're calling it, happened on West 17th Street, right by the Christian County, Kentucky Health Department. Police say that the 4 people who were hurt are now in stable condition, and detectives have detained several people of interest. If you know anything about the shooting, you're asked to contact the Hopkinsville Emergency Communications Center. That number right there at the bottom of your screen. Continuing coverage of a deadly road rage incident in Murfreesboro. Police say that the driver opened fire on 2 motorcyclists. Murfreesboro police say that the driver of a SUV is a 49-year-old named Joseph Gann, who shot 2 bikers out there on South Rutherford Boulevard near Manchester Highway. Happened just before 8 o'clock on Saturday night. One of those motorcyclists has died from his injuries. The other one remains in stable condition. Detectives are still trying to determine exactly what led up to this shooting. Police have arrested Gann. He is now facing multiple charges. We are looking ahead to the legal battle over the release of the Covenant School shooters' writings. It continues tomorrow. That's when a judge will hear arguments from both sides on whether or not the writings should be released to the public. Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey live for us this morning outside of the Metro Courthouse, the Birch Building there in downtown. We're going to tell you that the National Police Association, as well as the Tennessee Firearms Association, the Tennessean newspaper, the Tennessee Star, and a state senator are all advocating for the release of the Covenant School shooters' Audrey Hale's writings. On the other side of the issue are the Covenant School families as well as the congregation there. This morning, some of those Covenant School parents like Melissa Alexander and Mary Joyce will be holding a press conference concerning the recent bill that passed through the Tennessee Senate that would allow teachers to be armed at schools. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chen will join us here later this morning to break down exactly what each side is saying as they are locked in this legal battle that will all be decided at some point there at the Birch Building. We're new this morning. A fire destroyed a family's home in Laverne yesterday. The Laverne Fire and Rescue says that the home was a total loss, but no one was hurt. Now, the fire is still under investigation, and the Red Cross is trying to help that family. Let's get your Monday morning going with Greg Bobus. He's going to look at your forecast, and it's a warmer one.
Oh, it absolutely is. Yesterday, 87. Today, we could hit that mark again, and we're going to keep the 80s going all week long. Not quite as warm. Most days will be right near the 80-degree mark starting on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But when storm chances return, that's always the big question. This time of the year especially, when we start getting closer to those stretches of potential severe weather. Wednesday is the day to circle on the calendar that we're going to watch out for. We're watching for any potential severe weather. As of right now, real hit-and-miss scenario setting up itself. So we're going to keep our eyes on it. If we get any indicators of anything we have to worry about, we'll let you know. Just know Wednesday, the next decent chance for some rain, if not some storms. 87 degrees yesterday. 89 is the record on that date, so we came close to getting there. A couple of clouds out there hampered us just a touch. Nothing out there right now, though. We are crystal clear. Temperature's going to be in the upper 80s. Again, we'll call 87 this afternoon. 86 degrees tomorrow, low 80s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We'll go with some storms on Wednesday and also a few thunderstorms to end the week late on Friday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get to it here. I-65 at Trinity Lane. They're on the north side. As you can see, traffic there moving along pretty well. No big problems in either direction there at 65 at Trinity Lane. We do have one disabled vehicle out there. It's on I-24 near Bell Road, not causing big delays. But other than that, we're good to go with steer clear traffic. We'll continue to cover things for you live and local through 9. The Nashville Predators' final regular season game is tonight. The Preds have already secured a playoff spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs. They did that last week, but now they're fighting for a better seeding if they can get it. The Preds did beat the Blue Jackets on Saturday night 6-4. It was their final regular season game of the season. They're trying to carry that momentum and lock in the first wild card spot. The Predators are feeling grateful for their upcoming playoff run.
I mean, I'm excited. It's my first time ever playing in the playoffs, so a little bit I'm really excited. It's going to be a new experience for me. It's going to be fun for sure.
It's awesome. It's the best place in the world to play hockey. Rocking Bridgestone Arena in the playoffs. So I'm excited. We got one more, and then a couple days to recover and regroup, and after that we're ready to go.
I'm excited. The fans are looking good for regular season games, and they're going to step it up a notch for playoffs. So it's going to be a good time. We're rolling, and we're a playoff team. So let's see what happens.
Well, thanks to that win, the Predators now only need one more point, and then if they can get that tonight against Pittsburgh, the Predators, if they win or go overtime, they will lock up the top wild card spot over the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and will most likely play Vancouver in the first round of the playoffs. Well, coming up, Kentucky's new basketball coach was welcomed back to campus with a huge day up there in Lexington. We're going to tell you about his history with the Wildcats, plus a fire at a
Wow. I've never done a music video before. You have to sell it. Who will dance for their life?
No one wants to go home week 1.
Tonight at 8 on Fox 17.
4:38 is the time. Live look this morning from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Right there on the intersection of Three Rivers. They used to have a stadium there called Three Rivers Stadium, but they did that because Three Rivers met together right there at the stadium. We're not talking about football or baseball this time. We're talking about hockey. The Nashville Predators will be up there to finish their regular season. It's also the site of a little sorrow up there. Of course, the Penguins were able to defeat the Predators in their last Stanley Cup battle a few years ago. But we'll see what happens tonight. New year, new run. Yesterday, the Kentucky Wildcats officially introduced Mark Pope as their brand new men's basketball coach. Now, he is a former University of Kentucky player who took part in their 1996 NCAA championship win. Pope most recently coached at BYU for 5 years. He compiled a record of 110-52 there with the Cougars. Huge rally out there for him. In local news, Sumner County residents will have to pick somewhere else to take their trash for a little while. That's after a fire broke out at a landfill. Now, Smoky Barn News is posting on Facebook that the landfill is going to be closed until further notice. This photo from Smoky Barn News showing firefighters on the scene as smoke billowed out of the landfill building. We'll, of course, keep you up to date on that as soon as they are able to get that landfill reopened. In the meantime, let's get to Greg. Look at your forecast.
It's right now, 440. We're waking up at 60 degrees. We hit 87 yesterday. No slowing us down today, right in the same ballpark. This upcoming weekend, though, I'm going to give you the heads up now. It's not going to be as warm, not even close. 71 degrees your temperature on Saturday, 66 degrees on Sunday, and there could be a pop-up storm each of those days. Mainly dry, so we're not canceling plans. We're going to watch that hour-by-hour breakdown getting closer to the weekend, so we know what we're getting into. Just know that the temperatures are pretty locked in of being much cooler than when we were just 24 hours ago. Fox 17 coded weather app, you have your hour-by-hour forecast, the 7-day forecast, and you will want it for Doppler radar on Wednesday. That's our next incoming weather maker. Until then, you can submit your dogs of the day on meteorologist Greg Bobus, the Facebook page over there. You can follow us on twitter.com or X pages. We're going to have updates for you whenever it comes to any breaking weather. Anywhere you want to find us, just type in our names, and I'm sure you can get to us if you want to. Coming up in the next check of the forecast, we will look at Wednesday specifically, the next chance for showers and storms, break down my first thoughts about what we could be getting ourselves into as we're waking up in the middle of the week.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at 441. Here's a quick look here at I-40. This is at Fesser's Lane over on the east side of town. As you can see there, traffic moving along without any problems. We are accident-free right now on the roadways. If that changes, we'll be sure to let you know. But right now, could not ask for better conditions if you're getting out and about. If you're the first person opening up the building, you're in good shape. Well, coming up, nations around the world making critical decisions after Iran's retaliatory missile attack on Israel. We'll have the very latest on the response across the globe. And a mid-state teenager
decision with a first-of-its-kind 3-link suspension and a style all their own. Because you're not everyone, and that's a good thing. Bad boy, Mo with an attitude.
4:44 is the time here on this Monday morning. Israel is now contemplating some retaliation strikes. This is after Iran's drone and missile attack over the weekend. Meanwhile, G7 democracies gathered yesterday and condemned Iran's attack and expressed full support to Israel. Fox News' Trey Youngest has the very latest from Tel Aviv.
Israel weighing a retaliatory response after Iran's overnight missile and drone attack. Over 300 missiles and drones were fired by Iran and its proxies, according to an IDF spokesperson. Israel, with the help of key Western allies, including the U.S., United Kingdom, and Jordan, were able to intercept the majority of the projectiles.
This was the first time that such a coalition worked together against the threat of Iran and its proxies in the Middle East.
The White House calling Israel's defense effort a military success.
That's a terrific testament to the superiority of the Israeli military, but also to our own military superiority.
But also warning that the U.S. does not want to see this conflict spread into a wider war or participate in a counterstrike, something President Biden made clear to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu during a phone call.
Our actions have been purely defensive in nature. Our goal is to de-escalate and then get back to the issue at hand, securing an end to the conflict in Gaza.
Iranian military officials warning that if Israel retaliates, Iran's next operation will be, quote, much larger, the threat sparking global concern. On Sunday, the U.S. met G7 leaders, releasing a statement condemning Iran's attack, reaffirming its support for Israel and commitment to securing the Middle East. Biden also spoke with top members of Congress about getting more funding passed for Israel and Ukraine. In Tel Aviv, Trey Youngst, Fox News.
Happening today, the Nashville Rescue Mission is celebrating 70 years of making sure that people stay fed and clothed and housed, and they're having a recent expansion as well. The organization has been out there dealing with homeless issues across the city since 1954. Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker is live for us this morning from their brand new building. As they have expanded recently, this new women and children's building was recently completed. It can house up to 300 guests a day and serve 650 meals. The men's center, as well as the women's center, is being named after Linda and Mike Curb, who have offered lots of support for funding for this expansion. Mike Curb is an influential Nashvilleian. He's the founder and chairman of Curb Records. The Curbs, along with Mayor Freddie O'Connell and the Nashville Rescue Mission, are all expected to be there at a dedication ceremony at 9 o'clock this morning. A new national survey from KFF is revealing that many adults who were disenrolled from Medicaid during the pandemic are now being left uninsured. Since the previous pandemic, Medicaid unwinding resumed on April the 1st of last year. More than 20 million people have been removed from Medicaid programs. The KFF survey revealed that 23% of adults who were removed from Medicaid were left with no insurance coverage at all. However, the survey also says that half of those dropped from coverage during the pandemic got it back weeks or months later. In your community, a local teenager who suffered a life-altering injury is now defying the odds and getting encouragement from a huge sports star. 19-year-old Camden Hurden was the top scorer for Hillsborough High School in their basketball team and was a D1 prospect, but a car accident left him unable to move from the waist down. A spinal cord injury was suffered there in that crash. Since then, Caden has been working one-on-one with all kinds of coaches in an effort to try and walk again. He recently had a major moment of inspiration, meeting his basketball hero, Kevin Durant, from the Phoenix Suns, the NBA star, making sure that Caden got his very own jersey and autograph, as well as the VIP treatment on a visit to Phoenix. Caden, we are 100% behind you as well here at Fox 17, hoping you can make a bit of a recovery and get out there again. Nice story out there from KD. All right, let's get to Greg Bobis. He's got a nice look at your forecast here. Things warming up this week.
Big time. Yeah, yesterday was almost a record breaker. 2 degrees away, 87. Warmest day of the year so far, and today might be right at that same mark again. We've got some very nice air ahead of us. If you like these upper 80s with the low humidity, and a little breezy at times, but you're going to get the exact same setup once again today. A few more clouds today than yesterday, but no rain. Showers and storms, though, we are tracking by the time we go into tomorrow night, and then especially on your Wednesday. We're watching for implications of severe weather. I'll tell you what I mean by watching for implications. It means we don't have all the ingredients there just yet, but we're kind of making sure they don't all come together and give you the heads up way before anything were to come about. Taking a look, Code Red, keeping the arrow down there to the all clear for now. Enjoy today for what it is, and even tomorrow looks great. So out the door, what is weather going to do for you when it comes to your morning drive? Well, breezy at times, you'll notice that. Temps in the 50s and 60s, no winter coats this week. And you can grab the sunglasses here first half of the day loaded with sun. A few clouds will creep in later on for the afternoon. That's basically it. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast. The day to watch will be on Wednesday. For the afternoon and evening, between now and Wednesday afternoon, not much really does happen. A night storm or two for Tuesday night into Wednesday, non-consequential at this point. And then we talk about 87 today, 86 degrees tomorrow, right near 80 on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. A little unsettled and quite a bit cooler for the upcoming weekend. We'll talk more about that before we get to our 5 o'clock half hour, coming up in just a few minutes.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get you up to date with what's going on the roads, including this drive from I-40 at White Bridge Road over there in the West Nashville area. Traffic out there moving along pretty well. One sleeping truck out there this morning along with a sleeping vehicle. You just never know what you're going to find every time you pull up this camera over there. Some mornings we've seen a dozen or so trucks. Other mornings, one, like this morning. But no big crashes out there on the road. We'll be sure to watch things for you live and local through 9. Well, 4 people were arrested after hundreds of thousands of dollars of stolen Legos were found in Southern California. The California Highway Patrol says that the Legos were found during a raid of several locations in Los Angeles and Orange County earlier in the week. Now, the troopers out there suspect that they stole roughly $300,000 worth of the Legos from several retailers, including Target and Home Depot. The suspects are now facing numerous charges, including grand theft and conspiracy to commit a crime. Can you imagine going to prison for stealing Legos? Somebody is gonna have that fate, it would seem. Wow. All right, so Google is now blocking links to California news sites for some users out there. In a blog post on Friday, Google said the move is just a test and a reaction to a proposed state legislation out there to make tech companies pay news outlets for their content. It affects a small percentage of California users. A co-author of the bill, a state senator and their president, Mike McClure, called the Google's action an abuse of power and just a bit of a political stunt. Again, this is only happening in California. Well, coming up, Disney may punish those who lie about disabilities with a lifetime ban. We've got more on the consequences fakers could deal with. And the government is looking into some Ford vehicles after some major recall.
Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. Live look there in downtown Nashville. Yesterday was a day down there. In one day we had Jeff Dunham, the comedian, you know, the guy with the puppets and all that. He was there at Bridgestone. And then nearby, we had Dion Cole from shows like Blackish and Grownish and other things like that, comedians. So 2 stand-up comedians having different shows there at Bridgestone Arena at the Ryman Auditorium nearby. So a big day for laughs in downtown Nashville. Pretty soon, it'll be time for Predators playoff hockey, though. We'll be telling you more about that coming up here in just a few. Well, the Disney company is making it clear there will be consequences for those who misuse disabilities in order to have an easier time in their parks. Now, Disney says that any guest who makes false statements in order to get disability access services will be permanently banned from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland resorts. Disney also says that certain purchases made falsely will not be refunded. The Disability Access Services is intended for people with disabilities to get a return time for their attractions rather than wait in lines. Now, disability access changes and application processes go into effect on May 20th at Disney World and on June 18th at Disneyland. Let's get to Greg. Quick look at your forecast.
Yeah, let's break it down. Not much to worry about today. Wednesday's the day we're going to keep watching. Things have even developed overnight, so we're going to work through these at 5 o'clock. But there is a chance for severe weather late Wednesday afternoon into the evening. And this is kind of all really resurging here as we go into this morning. And we're gathering some more of the pieces now that we're getting closer to Wednesday. We're calling it a day to watch, not a day to worry about just yet. And taking a look at future track. Until then, here's all of today. A couple of clouds, highs in the 80s. Little breeze. Think back to yesterday, but just a few more clouds in the sky. And that's basically what you have here for your Monday. A few showers are possible overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday, especially the more north we get. Could even have a few rumbles of some thunder, but it really will be the second half of Wednesday. We have to watch. And here's why I say watch. Taking a look. This is 6 a.m. on Wednesday. If we get a few showers and we're pretty cloudy, early in the day, our chance for severe weather is going to go down significantly. So we'll keep breaking this down, getting closer to Wednesday. Just know that today, 87 degrees, and yesterday we almost hit a record. Yesterday was our warmest day of the season so far.
Clear traffic out there for you this morning at 4:57. Quick look here at I-40 at Fessler's Lane. This is just east of downtown. As you can see there, traffic moving along without issue. We're doing fine, doing just fine out there so far this morning. Drive times, everybody in the green from Mount Juliet to Murfreesboro to Franklin. All of these times will be increasing as the morning goes on, but right now, so far so good. Let's talk about the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, as they say they're looking into the recent recall of the Ford Bronco and Ford Escape vehicles. Now, the agency says that the cars could have a cracked fuel injector that can cause gas leaks and ignite engine fires. Nearly 43,000 SUVs made in 2022 and 2023 are impacted. So far, no injuries have been reported. A new study is revealing that anxiety is the biggest concern among employees who are seeking mental health help. Now, we are told that the study is from ComPsych Corporation, and they show that nearly a quarter of people who sought mental health services from their employees last year cited anxiety as their main concern. Now, the data also revealed that there has been a 300% increase in mental health-related leaves of absence since 2017. 69% of those leaves were taken by women, according to this particular study. Iran's weekend attack on Israel could cause oil production to spike in price. Many analysts expect oil prices to rise when the market begins trading later today. The increases come after oil hit a 6-month high on Friday before Iran launched more than 300 drones and missiles at Israel on Saturday. Some oil experts say there's been no impact on production as of yet, but of course we will watch. Fox 17 News will prices and the impact on gas across the mid-state here. Remember, for the best gas prices in town, you can always check our website, fox17.com. We've got the Fox 17 fuel gauge there to help you find the cheapest prices around. Hopefully they won't hit the $6 range like what we just saw here in this video. Our 5 o'clock hour starts right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Good morning, 5 o'clock right now. New this Monday morning, a shooting near a South Nashville bar, wounding 6 people. The shooter, as we've learned, out on bond at the time. What else we've learned so far this Monday morning?
And a Tennessee State University football player killed after being hit by a car. We're hearing from his girlfriend and she says he saved her life.
And the forecaster, yesterday was the warmest day of the season so far. Many more 80s ahead, but also chances for storms will track in your forecast.
All right, it's hot out there. Thank you so much for joining us here on a Monday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get straight to the breaking news that we're bringing you here on this Monday morning. This involves a shooting, according to Metro Police, in a North Nashville neighborhood that has left 1 person injured.
Right now, we're going to show you a map to give you a better perspective of where this all happened. It was last night on the 2600 block of Scoville Street. That is right near Tennessee State University. Right now, we understand that 1 person was taken to the hospital. We're working to get some more updates, and of course we'll share them both on air and online as we get some more details.
And kicking off your Monday morning, a few of the other big top stories you'll want to know about before you head out the door. Many of these are national stories. We go to New York, where happening today, the criminal trial begins for former President Donald Trump. New York prosecutors accuse Mr. Trump of falsifying financial records to hide hush money payments ahead of the 2016 election. Mr. Trump has pleaded not guilty to the charges.
And today is tax day, the last day for most of us across the country to go ahead and file those federal tax returns. Now remember, those who are in federally declared disaster areas, they do have a deadline extension, so do keep that in mind because it does cover many Tennessee counties after those December 8th tornadoes. You also need to file for an extension today in order to avoid any kind of penalties.
And today marks the 128th running of the Boston Marathon. Runners will be taken to the streets. It's been 11 years since the Boston Marathon bombing, which killed 3 people and hurt hundreds more.
Well, new this morning in Operation Crime and Justice, we understand a woman is now behind bars after police say she shot and killed her brother.
That shooting happened on Levy Lane Sunday afternoon. Metro Police say Monica Wilson, who you see here, and her brother Michael Wilson were arguing over money when they say Monica shot Michael in the head. Wilson charged with criminal homicide.
We're also getting some more updates in another Operation Crime and Justice story, this one involving 6 people who were shot, and a convicted felon is now under arrest after gunfire broke out. It was Sunday morning near a South Nashville bar.
Yeah, so we know this morning that it happened right near the Soho Lounge, which is off Bell Road. Police say they saw a 24-year-old Eric Williams holding a gun. Investigators say the 6 people who got shot are all in stable condition. They believe at least 2 people at the scene had been responsible for that shooting, but they've not yet named another suspect. Eric Williams facing 6 counts of felony reckless endangerment and the unlawful possession of a gun because, as Erica mentioned, he's a convicted felon. Out on bond for a previous case of reckless endangerment when yesterday's shooting happened.
5:03 is the time, and we do want to check in with our Code Red meteorologist. Now, Greg, I know the complaint door is closed, but I just got to tell you, it was hot.
Erica.
Very hot.
I said the same thing.
Erica.
I said the same thing this morning.
This is not our first year in Nashville.
I take it all back. I want the 70s.
Take it back, because when you get 100 degrees 2 or 3 times, we get 90s for 12 days in a row in July, then we'll have this conversation. Let's enjoy 87 yesterday. It really was pretty nice, though. Overall, not much we had to worry about when it came to humidity. I'll tell you the one thing that's real tough. Allergies are going to be terrible all week. It's a scale of 0 to 12. We're at an 11.5 all week. So that means allergies will not be fun. 80 or warmer all week long when storm chances return. Not a lot of rain we're going to get, but there will be 1 or 2 chances for a couple claps of some thunder here, and one of them we have to watch for any potential severe weather. That will be on Wednesday, and we'll take a look at that for you. Don't worry, it's not going to catch us off guard. 87 degrees yesterday was only 2 degrees below the record high temperature of 89 set back in 2017. What does today produce for us? Well, it gets us right back up to 87 degrees. Tomorrow, 86. 81 on Wednesday, 82 on Thursday, 80 on Friday, and okay, I guess I'm going to say sorry to Erica, because if we're only 2 degrees away from a record high temperature on a date, I will put the ball back in your court. You were right. Yesterday was very warm for that typical day on the calendar.
It was very warm. I'm already sweating. 5:05 is the time. Let's take a quick check of your steer clear traffic update. This right here is a live look. I-65 at the I-24 junction. This is north of downtown, and you can see for yourself we are not seeing a lot of traffic out there, not seeing any kind of issues at hand, no crashes right now. But of course, we'll keep a very close eye on all of the maps, and we'll continue sharing any kind of updates we can find in your steer clear traffic reports.
A Tennessee State University football player killed in a hit and run over the weekend. Chazon Page played for TSU and Lipscomb Academy before going to TSU. Police are now searching for the driver of a speeding car who witnesses say never stopped.
Yeah, his girlfriend says that he pushed her out of the way to save her life, and we are hearing more from her this morning. But first, want to let you know that Metro Police say Chazon Page was walking his girlfriend along with some other friends to their car early Sunday morning. They were crossing Gallatin Pike near Marion Avenue. That's where this happened. And that is when police say a red car, a sedan, or possibly a smaller SUV sped towards them.
The girlfriend says that he pushed her out of the way, and that's when he took the brunt of the hit.
I saw him at the hospital last night, and I just told him just be strong. Just remember the good thing that he did for y'all, and just remember to smile.
The family telling Fox 17 News that any donations should go ahead and go to the TSU football team. Detectives, though, of course, are working to track down the driver responsible.
It's 5:06 right now. Covenant School students will go back to their main Green Hills campus this week for the first time in more than a year. The private school has been making renovations and security improvements since the deadly mass shooting that happened there last March, claiming the lives of 6 people.
Teachers and staff, they say they're ready to welcome students back sometime this week. It's a story we'll continue updating, of course, on fox17.com.
Big story from over the weekend, international headlines. Iran's attack on Israel. This morning, we're going to be taking a closer look at the debates that will be happening here on Capitol Hill with regards to funding for Israel. Big story will follow live through 9.
And marking. Fox 17 News. news covering international headlines because the House is now getting ready to vote this week on legislation to support Israel. It comes after Iran's attack over the weekend.
Right, so this is a change in plans from what they were supposed to do. Majority Leader Steve Scalise announcing that change in plans in a statement, writing that the chamber will instead this week consider legislation that supports Israel. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell also urging the House to take up their Senate-approved foreign aid package that also includes military support for not just Israel, but also Ukraine and Taiwan. But in an appearance on Fox News Sunday, House Speaker Mike Johnson says his party is crafting their own package.
The House Republicans and the Republican Party understand the necessity of standing with Israel. We are going to try again this week, and the details of that package are being put together right now. We're looking at the options and all these supplemental issues.
Well, Johnson did not say whether Ukraine is going to be included in this particular bill. Previous GOP efforts to pass a standalone Israeli aid package after October 7th died due to Democratic opposition.
It's 5:10 right now and happening today. The Nashville Rescue Mission is celebrating 70 years here in our city and a big expansion as well. They have been feeding and housing people dealing with homelessness since 1954.
Right now, our Fox 17 News photojournalist Madison Spraker has given us a live look from one of their new buildings. This is the Women and Children's Campus over there on Rosa Parks, and we understand that this campus was recently completed. It can house about 300 guests per day and serve up to 650 meals. That really just depends on, is it breakfast, is it lunch, is it dinner? The Women and Children's Center is being named, though, after Linda and Mike Kerr, who offered lots of generous support when it comes to funding this particular expansion.
Mike Kerb, by the way, in case you recognize that last name, yes, it's that Mike Kerb, the founder and chairman of Kerb Records. The Kerbs, Mayor O'Connell, and Nashville Rescue Mission's president all expected to get together at a dedication ceremony happening at 9 o'clock this morning.
Right now, though, we're going to check in with Greg.
And we're waking up here very warm, warmest air of the season so far, but showers and storms are trimmed before the end of the week, and I'm watching for one day that could bring us stronger storms. We'll look at that coming up in your forecast.
And steer clear traffic looking pretty good here for a Monday morning. All quiet on the home front. We've got a live look. I-40 at White Bridge Road. Tractor trailer off to that big shoulder, probably taking a nap. See a car parked over there this morning too, or maybe an SUV, hard to make out, but nonetheless, no traffic problems here or anywhere else right now. We'll check in again in just a few minutes.
Also ahead, not much time left for lawmakers to pass a school.
Your doctor about Dupixent, the most prescribed biologic for asthma.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone.
5:14, welcome back into Fox 17 News This Morning, a live look into downtown Nashville. Did you enjoy the weekend? Warm temperatures, breezy conditions. We were outside a lot, feeling it in the allergies this morning. Greg is going to join us here in just a few minutes to talk more about the allergy scale, which is about to be off the charts.
We're talking politics right now, though. The first criminal trial of a former president, Donald Trump, beginning today. He's facing 34 felony counts in a case supporters call politically motivated, and critics hope will change the presidential race.
Fox 17 News' Christine Frizzell with the story.
The search begins for fair and impartial jurors to weigh in and listen to arguments in a case featuring one of the most hated and loved men in America, former President Donald Trump.
You know, jury selection is largely luck. It depends who you get.
The trial begins despite multiple attempts by Trump and his lawyers to delay it, with allegations Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg is unfair and complaints about the gag order Trump was issued after criticizing likely witnesses and making false claims about family members of the judge.
On Monday in New York City, I will be forced to sit fully gagged. I'm not allowed to talk. Can you believe it? They want to take away my constitutional right to talk.
Hundreds are expected to report for jury duty and answer 42 questions related to their feelings about Donald Trump himself and the case, which centers on charges Trump falsified records related to hush money payments made to former adult film star Stormy Daniels during the 2016 presidential campaign.
Under New York state law, it is a felony to falsify business records with intent to defraud and an intent to conceal another crime.
Stormy Daniels, in addition to Trump's former fixer Michael Cohen and former aide Hope Hicks, all expected to testify once the case gets underway, as critics continue to call it politically motivated.
So they took a dead misdemeanor and bootstrapped it into effectively trying a federal crime. But the federal crime here under election law was rejected by the Department of Justice. They didn't feel that this should be charged.
Still, others say whatever happens, it's unlikely to largely impact the election.
He'll probably go back on the campaign trail and almost like rehash what's going on. He'll try to victimize it, and that has worked for him, right? I mean, this has been going on for over a year, and his poll numbers never seem to go down because of the issue.
Jury selection is expected to take about a week, followed by a 6 to 8 week trial, which lands us in the middle of summer in the 2024 presidential race and just before the Republican National Convention. I'm Christine Frizzau reporting.
Christine, thank you. Well, spring has certainly sprung, and so have the allergies. Tree pollen is currently, according to Greg, very, very high.
Yeah, just mentioned this a moment ago. You might be experiencing it yourself. Everything is in bloom right now. And Greg has got an eye on our pollen forecast. We've got experts around the country that do nothing but track what's growing and therefore what's impacting us the most. So when it comes to the tree pollen, expected to remain high for the next few days. Grass pollen, the same. So how can you make it through? Well, of course, if you have your, allergy medication, make sure you're taking that.
Oh, I am.
And Greg's here to join us now to talk a little bit more about exactly what we're seeing and just, gosh, well, I was going to say what's in the high level, but Greg, it looks like everything.
That emoji, that emoji is me.
It's my eyes 24/7 when I'm outside. They just don't stop watering. It's just miserable. Yeah, and we are in the high category, especially for trees right now. We're at that point where if you looked outside this weekend compared to even a weekend before, so much more greenery out there right now. So everything is starting to bloom and blossom here for us. Trees are very high. We're about as high as you can get on the scale. It doesn't get much worse than this. And this is that time of the year when we get about 2 or 3 weeks worth of time where it is just tough to get through. Even if you're on the allergy medication, you've got the inhaler, and you've got the nasal spray, it's still just uncomfortable. So just keep that in mind with it being breezy today. You'll notice it again. 63 degrees right now in Nashville. We're actually already 3 degrees warmer than an hour ago. Sun's not up, but warmer air because of the wind is still being pushed into the area. So we're going to be up in the 80s again this afternoon. We're at 63 in McMinnville, 59 degrees in Tullahoma. We're at 63 in Lewisburg and 63 in Columbia. The entire week, 50s and 60s across the board for all of our morning temperatures. Very easy to manage here when it comes to that. Getting on the bus. Here we go. First bell, 66 degrees. After school, 86 degrees. I'll tell you right now, after school sports, I had to use some sunscreen yesterday and still almost burned. Even though we're only talking about April, the sun angle with how warm it is outside, watch out for that. And just know that we're going to stay dry the entire day. Coming up in the next check of your forecast, we'll look ahead to the next weather maker that will bring in 2 chances for some showers and storms late Tuesday into your Wednesday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get started at I-24 Bell Road. This is over in the Antioch area. Traffic there moving along very nicely. No big problems down there as you make your way in from places like Antioch, from Smyrna, Laverne, out there in Rutherford County. We are all in the green so far this morning. Things can change and change quickly, but when it does, we're here to let you know about it with Steer Clear Traffic live through 9.
Justin, thank you. In crisis in the classroom now, the clock is ticking on school choice here in Tennessee.
We have the legislative session that is expected to end April 25th. The voucher bill has 3 different versions still. One proposed by the governor, one from the House, and one from the Senate. The Senate's version is aligning more with Governor Lee's. Members of the House are pushing for some changes.
Reduced testing, more time to teach, less evaluations on our educators so that they can spend more time to teach, more flexibility in how we do our interventions with our students.
Some Democratic members of the House do not want to see this bill pass, though, and are not as confident that it will.
From my understanding, there is still a pretty wide disagreement between the Senate and the House on that bill for various reasons. So I hope that we can adjourn sine die and that bill, stays where it is now.
That's Representative John Ray Clemens, who refers to this bill as a, quote, voucher scam and believes it will undermine public schools. Now, on the other hand, Governor Lee telling Fox 17 News he's hopeful that the bill will pass before the session ends.
Representative Sapicki says the bill is going to be heard in subcommittee, and they are pushing to get a vote on the floor before session ends. Leader Johnson says the Senate is hoping to do that as well.
Crisis in the Classroom is Fox 17 News' commitment to exposing problems in schools, finding solutions. And so this story kind of files, under that headline. So if you have something you want us to look into, you can send an email to news@fox17.com or call the tip line. We've got that number right there at the bottom of your screen.
5:21 is the time, and just ahead, there's a new battle over diversity, equity, and inclusion at the State House.
No. You know there's a better way. Call or visit Allstate.com to bundle today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
.24 is the time this week. The Tennessee House and Senate is expected to finish up their business for the year. But last week, they took up a measure involving DEI. Now, you may have heard that term in the news quite a bit. It stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, there's a new bill that would require colleges and universities that have DEI-related complaints there to file a report with the state about their findings, and provides a way for state lawmakers to investigate those claims if they are not filed in a timely manner. Now, the bill's sponsor says it makes sure there's some accountability in the process.
This bill simply strengthens the current law by requiring institutions to report the results of an investigation regarding an alleged violation to the comptroller within 10 days after the investigation is complete. It requires institutions to provide a status update every 30 days to the comptroller regarding ongoing investigations, and it requires institutions to appear before the Joint Government Operations Committee if the comptroller deems that the institution has failed to timely report such investigation or has failed to take corrective actions.
When do you say success, plant your flag, and move on? That's what needs to happen. You've done what you needed to do. This bill creates a false reporting mechanism. Again, every member on this floor knows what's going to happen.
Well, does Representative McKenzie have suggestions that he wants to see instead? He does. We're going to tell you more about that coming up in our 6 o'clock hour.
Forecaster getting out the door and just working our way through a Monday. Nothing to worry about today. 87 degrees, couple of clouds. This is a Wednesday map for you here, showing us our next chance for any possible storms or severe weather. Most of that activity is going to be well to our north. However, we are in a risk where we could see 1 or 2 stronger storms afternoon through the evening of your Wednesday. The first raindrops of the week will be Tuesday night into Wednesday, but those don't look to be as big of a deal as later in the day. Not a code red day, a day to watch. Think back to last week. We were really worried about one day, but nothing just really came together. But we still monitored it. We still watched it. That's what we're doing here when it comes into your Wednesday. So today, tomorrow, just a couple clouds, mid to upper 80s both days. But here's tomorrow night, 11 p.m., taking us into your Wednesday morning. Few showers, the more cloud cover and the more rain we get Wednesday morning, the less likely we are to see anything significant happening as we go into the afternoon and evening. That's the big focus here for us in the forecast in the coming 48 hours.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning at I-40 at Dallas and Pike. You make that drive out there near Nashville International Airport. As you can see, traffic out there moving along really nicely. No big problems out there so far this morning that will hold you up. Of course, things are always subject to change, and we got you covered with steer clear traffic. But if you've got that early morning flight out there near BNA, you're doing okay out there. Keep in mind, they're always doing construction out there. They've been under construction out there for years now, and that continues on. So if you haven't been out there in a little while, just know, give yourself some extra time, because you probably don't know exactly where you're going. Well, coming up, continuing coverage of the legal battle over the Covenant school shooters' writings. We're going to tell you what's ahead of a brand new lawsuit that goes to court tomorrow. Plus, our road rage shooting has left one motorcyclist dead and another one hurt.
On Fox 17. This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Monday morning, the battles over the Covenant school shooters' writings continue. What to expect today regarding this case?
Waking up very mild, right near 60 degrees. Yesterday, warmest air so far this season, and we are not done yet. How many more days will be above 90 or 85 degrees, and push near 90 coming up in the forecast?
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 Broadley Parkway. No accidents there, but we've just picked up one downtown at Broadway. We'll take you there in just a few.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Monday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. We want to look ahead to a big story that will be developing this week. We're talking about the legal battle over the release of the Covenant school shooters' writings. We are looking ahead to tomorrow, Tuesday, when a judge is set to hear arguments from both sides about whether the writings should be released to the public.
Right now, our Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey is live at the courthouse, and we're going to explain why he is set up there. The National Police Association, along with the Tennessee Firearms Association, the Tennessean, the Tennessee Star, and Senator Todd Gardenhire are advocating for the release of the Covenant school shooters' writings. On the other side of the issue, though, are the Covenant school families and members of a certain congregation. This morning, Covenant school parents, they're holding a conference concerning the recent bill that passed through the Tennessee Senate that would allow teachers to be armed at school.
Fox 17 News reporter Amanda Chin will be joining us later this morning to break down why each side is locked in on their position. In the meantime, as this court battle plays out, Covenant school students will be going back to the main Green Hills campus this week for the first time in more than a year. You know, since the shooting, they've been making renovations and security improvements, one of them being a gate at the main entrance that did not used to be there. We know that 6 people died. We had 3 children and 3 staffers. Teachers and staff say they are welcome, ready with open arms to bring those children back this week.
We have continuing coverage this Monday morning of a deadly road rage incident happening over in Murfreesboro. Police say a driver opened fire on 2 motorcyclists.
All right, let's get out there now. Murfreesboro police say the driver of an SUV, 49-year-old Joseph Gann, shot at 2 bikers on South Rutherford Boulevard, right near Manchester Highway, around 8 o'clock Saturday night.
One of those motorcyclists died from the injuries. The other, as we understand, is still in stable condition. Detectives, though, are still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting in the first place. Police arrested Gann, and he is now facing multiple serious charges.
It's 5:32 right now. Happy Monday to you. Hope your day's off to a great start. We've got a first look at your forecast now with Greg.
And what's new this morning, taking us into the brand new week, really nothing different in the temperature department. It's the same as yesterday. We'll be in the mid to upper 80s later on today. We almost broke a record. We missed it by 2 degrees yesterday. We ended up hitting 87. The record was 89. That's how warm we were. Very mild morning temperatures, upper 50s and low 60s all the way until Friday morning. And then severe weather. We're always watching out for the next weather maker, and then it comes down to when does it move in and how strong could it be. We are watching Wednesday very carefully. Keep that in mind. This morning, no worries. You're carefree when it comes to the forecast. Temps in the 50s and 60s. We're grabbing the sunglasses for the morning. We're hitting the road and just knowing that it'll be a little bit breezy all day long and really most of this week. Lunchtime, what are we cooking up? Well, temperatures that will quickly hit the 80-degree mark right around 11 o'clock noon. A mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon. No rain. Nothing to worry about, and temperatures will continue to climb up to 87 degrees later today. A look at your 7-day forecast. If this holds true, and we're really close to 80 on a couple of these days, but if it holds true, we do hit 80 for 5 more days in a row, Monday through Friday.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get you to I-40 at Broadway. This is in downtown Nashville. TDOT is panning around a little bit. The accident is right there, though, at the exit. Now, listen, everyone, as they zoom in, I just want to point this out very quickly. You can see this vehicle here. There's no ramp going down like this. The vehicle is facing the wrong way. So unsure exactly how it ended up there, whether it spun out and ended up there, whether or not it came down the ramp that way, ended up there, unsure. You can see a couple people walking around here and there. Authorities have not arrived yet. This is a dangerous situation until authorities get there, because you never know. This is not a place where pedestrians normally are. Here again at I-40, this is right at the exit for Broadway. We're going to wait for authorities to get there. Hopefully the people walking around will be okay. If you've got to travel out that way in the next few minutes, though, just know you can see a few pedestrians out there walking around. Please be sure to watch out for them.
Very strange. Justin, thank you very much. 5:34, 5:35, Eric is ready. She's got the fang fingers ready to go. Yeah, the Preds' final regular season game is happening tonight in Pittsburgh. Now, the Preds have already secured a spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Now they're fighting for better seating.
Well, the Preds beat the Columbus Blue Jackets Saturday night 6-4, their last home game of the regular season. They're trying, though, to, of course, carry that momentum and lock in the first wild card spot. And the players are feeling grateful for the playoffs. Listen.
I mean, I'm excited. It's my first time ever playing in the playoffs, so a little bit really excited. It's going to be a new experience for me. It's going to be fun for sure.
It's awesome. It's the best place in the world to play hockey, rocking Bridgestone Arena in the playoffs. So I'm excited. We got one more, and then a couple of days to recover and regroup, and after that we're ready to go.
I'm excited. The fans are looking good for regular season games, and they're going to step it up a notch for playoffs. So it's going to be a good time. We're rolling, and we're a playoff team. So let's see what happens.
All right, so we mentioned they've got to go to Pittsburgh tonight, and we have a live look there from Steel City this morning, thanks to WPXI, our station up there. Pretty shot there this morning. Now, we will tell you, the Preds need one more point in order to get that first spot for the wild card, all right? And they're going to have to get it in Pittsburgh. If the Preds win, or if they go to overtime, they will lock up the top wild card spot over the Vegas Golden Knights and most likely play the Vancouver Canucks in the first round.
All right, go Preds go. Hey, got a question for you. Have you pushed your credit to the limit? Well,
butter. Need we say more? Sonic Garlic Butter Bacon Cheeseburger.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Mac Pest Control.
Good morning. It's 5:39. We have breaking news updates now after Iran attacked Israel over the weekend. In fact, right here behind us is a live look from Israel this morning, all quiet right now. Italy's prime minister, who is the current president of the Group of Seven, the G7, presided over an online meeting just yesterday with fellow world leaders to talk about next steps.
And the heads of the G7 talked about Iran's attack on Israel and its potential consequences. The Italian Prime Minister's office releasing a video with no sound that shows Italy's Prime Minister speaking to President Joe Biden and a team of advisors. Take a look here. Israel has praised the success of its defenses in the face of an unprecedented action by Iran, which launched hundreds of drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles towards Israel, most of which did not hit their targets. Tension is now running high over possible Israeli counterstrike, though, which many fear could escalate into a regional war.
5:40, taking a look at the forecast here, waking up on a Monday morning and getting the wheels turning quite literally. Wash or wait. What are we going to do today? Today and tomorrow are both good days for a car wash. No rain coming down for your Monday or your Tuesday. I would say Tuesday night into Wednesday, a chance for a few of us to get a few showers and some thunderstorms, but most of us are going to see our main event move in on Wednesday. That is a day to wait. And even then, Friday into Saturday and Sunday, more rain ahead of us. So the earlier in the week you do it, the better you're going to be. Precip chances, the bigger the bar, the better the chance for rain. Wednesday is the day to watch most carefully. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, many of us will still end up staying dry. What does that mean for tonight? Well, after school sports, going to be warm again like yesterday, 86 degrees at 5. 82 degrees at 7 and 76 degrees at 9 p.m. Just partly cloudy, no rain, a little bit of a breeze, allergy medication, and sunglasses we needed here before sunsets.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get to I-40 at Broadway. We've been watching a crash down there for a little bit. Don't have all the details about it. We've seen a lot of different things. We can tell you that the fire department is there blocking off the exit as we speak there at I-40 at Broadway. We've seen a couple of people walking up the ramp away from this crash, went around the corner for some reason there. The fire department is now there investigating. We're unsure if anyone is seriously hurt or not. Have not seen anyone taken away in an ambulance or anything like that. Just know I-40 at Broadway as you make your way around that south loop is going to be closed here for the next little bit. You can always take the very next exit a little bit further down, which is going to be Charlotte at that point by the time you pass it by. So it could cost you a little bit of time as you get out there this morning. We'll continue to follow it, let you know exactly what happens.
Well, coming up, attention Verizon customers. Today is your last day to cash in on a class action lawsuit. What you need to know.
The latest consumer price index says it's becoming increasingly more expensive.
Because you know the right way to stop! Call or visit Allstate.com for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
New this Monday morning, we are getting some more updates about a house fire destroying a home over in Laverne. It happened Sunday, showing you some photos on your screen. The Laverne fire rescue crew saying the home destroyed, but thankfully no one was hurt. The fire, though, is under investigation, and the Red Cross is helping this family.
Well, after a cold and very rainy few weeks that we've had here in the mid-state, it looks like things have finally turned around, Greg.
At least for the most part, yeah. The weekend couldn't have been much better. We gave it 5 stars. Maybe one of the stars could have been a 4-star. Maybe it was a little too warm for some folks.
Yeah.
But, I mean, 87 degrees. You almost break a record in the middle of April. You don't think...
Well, considering that we were sitting at baseball games when it was 32 with heaters and whatnot.
Yes, but if we're already reaching records, Jen, where are we going?
It's just a little blip on the radar. Okay. Right, Greg?
Kinda. It's going to be 87 again today, so we'll call it 2 blips.
Just a little blip.
2 blips on the radar, we'll call it. Actually, nothing on the actual radar, though, which is good. No rain today. 63 degrees. You're starting off warm. You do not need a winter coat at all until we get toward the weekend, and even then, you won't need a winter jacket necessarily. We will be cooler, though. Our afternoons this upcoming Saturday and Sunday are going to be in the 60s and 70s, so not quite as warm. But until then, talk about barbecue weather later on today. When you can have 80s in April, mix of sun and clouds, that's all we've got right here. Go for it. I will tell you, you'll be at 86 degrees right around 5 o'clock, and you'll stay in the 80s past 8 p.m., well past sunset. Here is Future Track for today and tomorrow. Nothing to worry about. Next weather maker, though, is going to be Tuesday night. Here's 11 p.m. into Wednesday, mainly Wednesday afternoon and evening. We'll break that down a little bit more for you and sneak peek ahead of that cooler weekend. If the 80s weren't your jam and 60s and 70s are, you might be happy with the numbers coming your way.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you to I-40 at Broadway downtown. That's where we are continuing to follow a crash there at the exit that has the exit shut down there at I-40 at Broadway. You can see fire department talking with the driver there in the middle of the exit. One car pulled over to the shoulder, and by the way, that car is facing the wrong direction. So we're unsure exactly what happened. We can know that 2 people left the scene of this crash shortly after it happened. So, you know, we're going to get some more details. We're going to follow the investigation here as soon as we learn more and share that with you. For the time being, though, just know that the exit for Broadway is closed. You can take the next exit for Church and Charlotte. That should be able to get you to your location there on the South Loop.
Hey, today is the last day for eligible Verizon Wireless customers to get money from a class action lawsuit. Anybody who was a customer between January of 2016 and November of last year are eligible.
Yeah, so they can get up to $100 by signing up online or through the mail. The lawsuit alleges Verizon deceptively charged fees, which the company denies. People who accept the payouts lose any right, though, to sue Verizon over the issues in the future.
More consumer headlines here on your Monday morning. A new survey shows that inflation is pushing a lot of people to their limits, including their credit card limits.
Well, a survey of 1,000 adults from Debt.com revealing that 35% of consumers, well, they have maxed out their credit cards over the last few years. Of those surveyed, 85% said that the increases in price because of inflation have caused them to rely more heavily on their credit cards to make ends meet. The survey also says that credit card debt among millennials has grown faster than other generations.
Interesting. You know, you talk so much about with your friends or maybe your family or even your kids about how things appear online, right? And what it would seem like people are doing with their money.
Living their best lives.
A reminder that sometimes that living your best life, racking up all that credit card debt, can come back to really bite you. As a matter of fact, almost a third of young Americans say they owe at least $10,000 to $20,000 on their credit cards.
Well, talking about money, we're also talking about how inflation is impacting the car market. The latest CPI report shows auto insurance and car repairs are among the top items, increasing year over year.
Yeah, Fox Business correspondent Kelly Saberi with the impact on car owners.
Owning a newer car means you're going to have parts that are heavier and more sophisticated, which will lead to a more expensive bill if you need repairs. This is important because in 2022, we learned that cars were 33% heavier than they were in 1985. That's according to the Highway Loss Data Institute. with that, we know that cars are also twice as powerful. Heavier cars that can go faster lead to more serious crashes. Couple that with the rising cost of medical care, and you're seeing increasingly expensive car insurance claims. Even with smarter software to prevent crashes, the systems are so expensive to repair that rates remain higher with a lack of talent to execute the fixes. A problem that was brewing before the pandemic and was only made worse from it. The latest CPI report shows auto insurance is up 22% in the last year. Maintenance on cars is up 8%. But on the bright side, the price of used vehicles is down about 2%. Still, a lot of people trading in cars are coming in with negative equity, meaning they owe more on their car loan than what their vehicle is worth. Woody Woodring, the president of Woody Buick GMC of Naperville, Illinois, explains what customers should do to get out of that cycle.
Well, hopefully they don't make the same mistake twice, but cash always helps. Are searching for a big rebate, low interest rate new car deal would probably be the best formula that I would have.
Upside down car purchases spiked in the first quarter. In a new Edmunds report, the Car Advice website says 25% of new vehicle sales involving a trade-in were upside down in the fourth quarter of 2023, compared to about 17% in the last quarter of 2022. This as nearly half of all new car purchases involve a trade-in. In Naperville, Illinois, Kelly Saberi, Fox Business.
Hey, still to come when it comes to, filling up your gas tank. How are things shaping up this week? Are we going to get a break on gas prices? We will take a look at the current situation, especially as it pertains to what's happening in the Middle East.
And we're going to show you a live look right here over on Lower Broadway. We're talking about the Preds.
Backed with a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited warranty. Lease the new 2024 Sportage LX for $279 a month.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning, just a few minutes before 6 o'clock right now. Consumer headlines as it pertains to what happened over the weekend with Iran's attack on Israel could most certainly cause a spike in oil prices.
This morning we were hearing from analysts who expect oil prices to kind of tick up when markets begin trading today. The increases come after oil hit a 6-month high Friday before Iran launched more than 300 drones and missiles at Israel Saturday. Global benchmark Brent crude reaching $92.18 a barrel. There's also U.S. West Texas intermediate crude prices also up.
We've got a lot of experts who say no impact yet on production, but the prices is where we're going to feel it. So we'll keep an eye on that for you. By the way, if you ever want to find the cheapest gas when you're out and about, we can help you do that. If you go to fox17.com, click on fuel gauge, it'll give you an interactive map. And so depending on where you're going for the day, you can map out and plot where you can save the most money.
It's a great tool. And talking about money and education, there is a new survey showing U.S. high school students, they are eager to learn about financial skills, but many lack access, they say, to the right resources.
So Intuit has a financial education survey they just did, and they found that a lot of teenagers want to learn more about personal finances, but their high schools either don't have a course like that or their parents are not teaching them at home. About 85% of teenagers say they have an interest in learning more about financial literacy. Erica and I were just talking about this. The level of illiteracy that exists when it comes to money, staggering. 95% of teenagers who are currently enrolled in some kind of personal finance class say it is so helpful. Financial issues that teenagers found to be the most complicated, right? When you're trying to learn about how to live and balance a budget and all that stuff, is trying to figure out their retirement, figuring out taxes, saving money, a pretty easy thing to do, but it's hard to do when there's social pressure to, as Erica said, live your best life. Right?
That's correct.
Kids, yes, would definitely encourage you to
save the money.
Talk with your parents, maybe your teachers. Hey, if your school doesn't have a class like that and you're watching this morning, maybe you suggest it. Ask if your school can bring a financial literacy class.
That's a good idea.
Goes a long way.
Well, let's check in now with our Code Red meteorologist.
Good morning. Taking a look here in the forecast for us. Everything is on the up and up when it comes to numbers today. We're going to aim for 87 degrees. We hit that yesterday. That made yesterday one of two things. Almost a record breaker. We missed it by 2 degrees. 89 is the record. But it also became our warmest day so far this year. So that's where we're going again, right up to the same spot. Very warm, a little bit breezy. Allergies are miserable. You have a few more clouds than yesterday. There's just no sugarcoating it. The allergies are just not going to be fun here this entire week. Much cooler for the upcoming weekend. And when I say much cooler compared to today and yesterday, 66 on Sunday will feel much cooler. The chance for a pop-up storm or two each day. Don't go canceling plans. Just know that we're not going to be completely dry across the board. A few of us will have to contend with a little bit of rainfall and maybe even a weak thunderstorm. You can get the Fox 17 Code Red Weather app. You just scan the QR code. You go to the App Store. You have your radar, hour-by-hour forecast. The whole 9 yards there worked out for you each and every day. Coming up in a little bit, Wednesday is the one day to watch in the forecast. We'll look at what part of Wednesday and what we could be expecting coming up as we go into our 6 o'clock half hour.
Steer clear traffic. Let's get out to I-40 here at Broadway. We've been watching a crash here involving a car facing the wrong direction coming down the on-ramp there onto I-40. Unsure exactly how many people may be involved or hurt. We do know the fire department came and went. Now Metro Police are there. They've been walking around and they've gotten back in their cars. It would seem they're waiting on a tow truck now. Whatever happened here seems to have calmed down quite a bit to the point to where they have reopened the exit. For a while, the exit was closed. Just know that there were a lot of people out and about walking around at this scene, and now the exit has reopened there, but you could see a little bit of a slowdown still here at the Broadway exit into downtown. We'll continue to follow this and other sides of town coming up in a few.
In health news now, April is Parkinson's Disease Awareness Month. And according to experts, this incurable neurological disorder impacts about 1 million people right here in the U.S.
So Parkinson's impacts the neurons that control your speech and your movement. So if you were to see someone who had symptoms like tremors, maybe speech difficulty or trouble moving, that would be because their muscles get stiff or tighten involuntarily. Researchers currently trying to find the cause of Parkinson's so that they can find a good cure.
We're taking a closer look at stories that are trending over on our website, fox17.com, and it is a story about a tree dedication that happened over the weekend regarding Julian Ludwig. It's a story about a tree now standing in her memory, a Belmont University freshman. That is what we're talking about, Julian Ludwig. Now, she lost her life. We're talking about the case that has followed and how her family is just asking for her memory to live on. If you want to read more about this story about Julian Ludwig, go to fox17.com. Stay with us, though. Our 6 o'clock hour is starting right now.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
And a good Monday morning to you. Right now on Fox 17 News This Morning, the battle over the Covenant School shooter's writings. What we expect to happen this week in the case.
And a shooting near a South Nashville bar left 6 people wounded. The shooter was out on bond. The details we know so far in this case.
And near record-breaking heat yesterday, we are not done. We're forecasting more 80-degree days in a row. How many we're going to string together, which days will also bring some storms with them as well.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Broadway, where things are a little clogged because of a crash on the shoulder. We've got the details there, plus one more we just picked up coming up with steer clear traffic.
Thanks so much for joining us for Fox 17 News This Morning. Here on your Monday, I'm Jennifer Waddell.
And I'm Erica Glover. New this Monday morning, we are getting some more updates regarding a shooting. Metro Police say they are investigating a shooting that happened over in North Nashville that left 1 person hurt. We are also mapping it out for you.
Yeah, let's take a look here. It happened in the 2600 block of Scoville Street. That's right near Tennessee State University. We understand 1 person did get taken to the hospital. We're working to find out if they're going to be okay. As we gather more information, we'll keep you posted live through 9.
Also in Operation Crime and Justice, 6 people shot and a convicted felon now under arrest after gunfire broke out. It was Sunday this happened near a bar over in South Nashville.
Yeah, because the convicted felon should have never had a gun. So we've got, layers to the story here. Happened at this lounge just off Bell Road in Antioch yesterday morning. Police say they saw 24-year-old Eric Williams holding a gun. Investigators say 6 people in all got shot. They're all in stable condition right now. At least 2 people, though, police say are responsible. They just haven't named another suspect. Williams, you see right here on your screen, facing 6 counts of felony, reckless endangerment, and illegally having a gun because, again, he's a convicted felon. He was already out on bond for a previous case of reckless endangerment when yesterday's shooting happened.
It happened so fast, but yeah, he pushed me out the way, and I think he got the blunt of it all.
A beloved Tennessee State University football player in this photograph killed after being hit by a car. His girlfriend says he pushed her out of the way to save her life.
Jason Page played for Tennessee State University and before that Lipscomb Academy, and he was honored across the TSU community and by his loved ones here in Nashville. Police right now this morning searching for whoever hit him. Witnesses say the person who did it was in a red car and never even stopped.
And Metro Police say that he was walking with his girlfriend and some other friends to their car. It happened early Sunday morning. They were crossing Gallatin Pike. That is right near Marion Avenue. That's when police say a red car, a sedan, or possibly a smaller SUV sped towards them. His girlfriend says he pushed her out of the way and then he was hit.
I saw him at the hospital last night, and I just told him just be strong. Just remember the good thing that he did for y'all, and just remember to smile.
And that is Chazon's dad, who also spoke with Fox 17 News. They say that any donations that people might want to make should go to the TSU football team. Detectives, as we mentioned, continue to work to find the driver of that red sedan or small SUV.
6:03, taking a look at the forecast, waking up here pretty carefree when it comes in the weather world this morning. We have temperatures that are in the 60s. Sun is starting to come up for us. It'll be up in about a half hour from right now. Beautiful sunrise on tap. And a couple of clouds later on this afternoon, but that'll be just about it. Getting out the door this morning, very warm. We're leaving the heavier jackets at home, and you should be okay. You can leave the umbrella at home as well. 61 degrees at 7 o'clock, 65 at 8, 71 at 9. Quick warm up here. Back to 80 degrees by noon, and we'll continue to climb. Yesterday we hit 87. We'll aim for it again today. And then 86 degrees tomorrow. A few night storms are possible. Tuesday night into Wednesday. Not for everyone. We'll find those on Future Track. And then we'll talk about Wednesday specifically, where there are some indicators we could have one or two stronger storms. We'll break down the timeline and what exactly that means for us as we're waking up and getting through our Wednesday. We'll be at or above 80 degrees every day this week.
Steer clear traffic gets us out to I-40 at Broadway there in downtown Nashville. As a matter of fact, we've got our Fox 17 News crew on the scene there. Yikes. We can see the rear end of one of those cars that's facing the wrong direction there as they're waiting on a tow truck to come pull that car out of the way. We saw multiple people here walking around at one point, and still unsure exactly what happened here. We can see TDOT now racing up to the scene to try and help deal with this until a tow truck can get there. Again, unsure if anybody was hurt. We saw the fire department here. We saw a lot of people walking around, saw a lot of people leaving the scene, as a matter of fact. But hopefully we can get some answers now that we've got a crew there on the scene about exactly what happened here. So let's bring you to our full traffic system here. I-40 again at Broadway. This is right at the exit. The exit is now reopened, so you can't get by, even though TDOT just pulled up, so they may be shutting things off yet again. We'll have to wait and see on that. We're also following the crash. This one's happening on I-40 at I-24. This is on the east side of town. So this is the exit for Murfreesboro Pike here, right at the I-24 area. Listen, this particular curve at I-40 at Murfreesboro Pike is a sharp one. When you go down here, they've got a little sign that's blocked off by the shrubs, but it's a sharp curve, and it's there with the reason. The sign is because you can easily lose control of your car if you do not slow down. There's nothing but rocks on both sides, or hillsides of rocks on both sides there as you make that drive down. So unsure exactly what the issue is. Just watch out for the authorities in that area as it does slow things down. We'll continue to give you updates on a busy morning so far.
Justin, thank you. 6:06 right now. Looking ahead, the legal battle over the release of the Covenant school shooters' writings will continue tomorrow when a judge is set to hear arguments from both sides about whether the writings should be released.
Now, we do understand the National Police Association, the Tennessee Firearms Association, the Tennessean, the Tennessee Star, and Senator Todd Gardenhire are advocating for the release of the Covenant shooters' writings. On the other side of this issue, though, are the Covenant school families that we have heard from. They're very vocal, and the congregation. Well, this Monday morning, Covenant school parents, they're going to be holding a conference concerning a recent bill that passed through the Tennessee Senate that would allow teachers to be armed at school. Our Fox 17 News investigative reporter Amanda Chen is going to be joining us this morning to break down why each side is locked in this legal battle.
And there is a new debate over DEI. Diversity.
Eurostone countertops in 3 to 5 days guaranteed, or it's free. EurostoneTN.com.
6:09 is the time, and this week the Tennessee House and Senate is expected to finish up their business for the year. But last week they took up a measure involving DEI, that's diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, this new bill would require colleges and universities who have DEI-related complaints to file a report with the state about their findings, and it also provides a way for lawmakers to investigate claims that were filed in a timely manner or weren't filed in a timely manner. Now, some state lawmakers say all of this is unnecessary and pointed these things out.
This bill is harsh. Everyone on this floor, every weekend, we get hundreds of emails either for or against something that are robo emails. Your bill will allow 10 of those type of email complaints going to a university to trigger a comptroller report. Send auditors out. We got a comptroller, send them out. Interview 5% of all faculty each year and ask them, or 5 staff members and ask them, is a university not complying with these rules? Do you feel that these things are not, these divisive concepts are being taught? Why not use that as opposed to creating this whole infrastructure that's going to give you false data?
Complaints are not to be reported without an investigation. Concerning the jobs portion of this, I would direct my esteemed colleagues' attention to the fiscal note, which is not significant. Therefore, it's not going to cost these universities any more than they already are spending on these things.
So, coming up in a few minutes, we're going to tell you why things got a little personal there on the House floor between a couple of members while talking about this bill. You don't want to miss what's coming up here in our 7 o'clock hour. It is tax day. You have just a few hours left to file a return or request an extension. Otherwise, you could end up paying a fee. So here's how to file or get more time a little bit more quickly. Now, it's possible to request an automatic 6-month extension for free through the IRS partner on the agency's website. The deadline for that is today. It does involve paying estimated taxes. Those who want to file before midnight tonight can use the IRS Direct File, an IRS trusted partner or a paid service. If you know you're due a refund, you have some wiggle room out there. The failure to file penalty will not apply to you if you've got that refund coming.
Coming up, taking a look here, we had near record-breaking temperatures tomorrow. Sun is coming up from Music City. How much longer that will last before our next weather maker?
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-48, the I-24 junction. Big crash right ahead of the Murfreesboro Pike, of the Murfreesboro Pike exit. We're going to take you there coming up in a few.
April is National Distracted Driving Awareness Month. I'm Kevin.
Brand now with payments from $239 a month. Search your local Honda dealer today.
His Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet Buick GMC of Nashville.
Welcome back. 6:14 is the time, and happening this Monday, Nashville Rescue Mission, they are going to be celebrating their 70th anniversary, and also they're celebrating a recent expansion.
Yeah, the organization has been feeding and housing people dealing with homelessness since 1954, and so many of us, even here at Fox 17 News, have volunteered our time at the women's shelter and at the men's shelter. And this morning, our photojournalist Madison Spraker giving us a live look from their newest project, which is the Women and Children's Center just off Rosa Parks.
Yeah, so this particular center can house 300 guests a day and serve, depending on the time of the day, up to 650 meals. Now, the Men's Center and the Women's Center are now being named after Linda and Mike Kerb, who have offered so much support for funding this expansion and other projects across Middle Tennessee. Mike Kerb, if you don't know, is a very influential Nashvilleian, founder and chairman of Kerb Records. The Kerbs, Mayor Freddie O'Connell, and the National Rescue Mission's president today. They are expected to go ahead and have a dedication ceremony. Of course, we're going to have our crews there and give you some more updates.
New this morning, Operation Crime and Justice. We have a woman now charged with shooting and killing her own brother. It happened on Levy Lane just yesterday afternoon in Nashville. Metro Police say the woman on your screen right here, Monica Wilson, and her brother, Michael Wilson, got into a fight about money. When police say Monica shot Michael in the head. She is now this morning charged with criminal homicide.
We are at 6:16 going to go ahead and check in with our Code Red meteorologist. We had that sunrise shot. I wish we could take it again. It looks like a beautiful start. Going to be a hot one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Have your sunblock, maybe a fan. I had my fan yesterday.
Did it help?
Jen's laughing at me. Listen.
Did it help?
You just, it cracks me up because you always give me a hard time about loving the cold.
And now I'm like,
and she's like, bring me the heat. Bring me the heat. I want it warm. I want it sunny. And now it's warm.
Right. I had the fan
and
for
it's too hot.
I had the fan for Ryman, but
she took
it's actually mine now.
She took
Thanks.
I mean, and listen, hey, if this is your first like spring and summer in Nashville, I know you might think it's hot, but just wait.
Just wait.
Okay?
Yeah.
It gets hot and humid too.
Buckle up on the heating index because like gets to like 105 and we go, nah, that's a Tuesday.
Right.
That's true. Today, just like yesterday. So, Erica, go steal Ryman's fan again. You're going to want it. It's going to be 87 degrees later on this afternoon. Yesterday was the warmest air of the season. We're going to go back to back with those types of temperatures. Showers and storms are possible. Not a ton of them, but there are 2 time frames we have to watch. One's going to be tomorrow night, and the other will be on Wednesday. Other than that, not much else to worry about this week. I looked at potential future rainfall for the rest of the week. Half of an inch to an inch total between now and next Sunday. So not a whole lot coming down, but when it does, we have to watch out for any severe weather. If we start getting indications of it, we'll have to tell you about days to watch. I am watching Wednesday closely, but it's not a code red day just yet. I'm not quite sold. Taking a look, mild 50s and 60s this morning, breezy at times, no worries when it comes to the weather. And the right side of your screen, take a look. Your hometown temps, upper 50s and low 60s already. Only going to go up from here. And already getting vibes that this lunchtime might be going for a patio. If you can handle the allergies and a little bit of a breeze, there are your temperatures, upper 70s to low 80s. And we're going to stay at or above 80 every day this week until the upcoming weekend.
Steer clear traffic this morning. Let's get you out and about to I-40 at Broadway. This is where we are finishing up a crash involving one car that was facing the wrong direction there at I-40. Unsure exactly what happened. We can see authorities now on the scene with TDOT there as they've towed one car out of the way, but now unsure exactly what leftover work they're doing with another vehicle there. But the lane is open. At one point, the road was closed down there for the exit at I-40 at Broadway. Glad to see it has since reopened there for traffic. Just know, could have a few problems getting by. Here comes an ambulance now to that scene down there. Are they going to take a stop here? Or are they moving on somewhere else? Looks like they're moving on, making a stop. Okay. We'll take a closer look at that coming up here in the next few minutes and see what happens there. We're also dealing with one other crash to tell you about that's happening here at I-40 at 24th, or I-40 at the I-24 junction, I'm trying to say, right here at the Murfreesboro Road exit. It's a very steep exit right here. They've got a sign that tells you to slow down at the exit, but if someone did not abide by that sign and went down that road, it is very possible they could have a pretty rough accident down there. Make sure to watch out for that as you get out and about this morning. We'll continue to watch other things that could get in your way.
Justin, thank you. Hey, speaking of traffic and just, being out on the roads, safety experts are reminding everybody there is no text, no call, no video, no social media post that is more important than your life or anybody else's life. And that taking your eyes off the road for just a split second could certainly be a matter of life or death.
Fox News correspondent Kevin Cork is reporting on the tips and tricks that really could make a big difference out on the busy roadways. Listen.
Every time you pick up your phone while behind the wheel, it puts you and the lives of others on the road in danger. That's the message from safety experts as April marks National Distracted Driving Awareness Month.
The time you spend just glancing at a text would basically cause you to literally drive the length of a football field without seeing the road.
New data released by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration reveals more than 3,300 people died in vehicle crashes involving distracted drivers back in 2022. About 290,000 others were injured.
One of the most effective strategies for reducing distracted driving is stowing your cell phone, putting it out of sight, out of mind.
But according to Teresa Wilson of Clemson University, simply refraining from texting doesn't necessarily mean you'll remain alert, especially on long road trips.
You take a rest break about every 2 hours. Stop for about 15 minutes.
Meanwhile, other forms of distractions can include getting into arguments with passengers in your car. Even the type of music you play can have an impact on your driving.
Music that is not going to entice you or start making you feel really relaxed and start getting sleepy.
If you're a parent who is behind the wheel, Wilson says even if your child isn't of driving age, your behavior can set a good or bad example. I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Put the phone down. I just told Erica we have a teenage driver. We've had these conversations many times. Look at that.
Beautiful sunrise. Thank you for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News. We're your only local station with traffic and weather updates live from 4.
Tia, what are you walking into?
Tuesday at 8 on Fox 17.
Welcome back to Fox 17 News this morning. 6:24 is the time in your community. Showing you a picture right now from over the weekend where Metro Police Chief John Drake joined members of the Nashville Kurdish community to celebrate their new year, known as New Roz.
Now, he was joined by 3 Kurdish Metro police officers. By the way, Nashville's Kurdish community is one of the largest in North America, with a population of around 15,000.
Speaking of Metro Police, they're getting some new wheels to fight crime. Take a look at this. Officers at the Central Precinct hitting the streets on new, what are called volcanic electric bikes.
Wow.
Sounds intimidating.
Yeah, the marketing does it for itself here. These pictures were posted onto the Metro Police Facebook page saying that they are loving the brand new speed of these e-bikes. Some Metro officers from around the city also recently completed a special cyclist training course for working on traditional mountain bikes. So there's a new way for police to fight crime downtown Nashville.
Speedy. 6:25 right now. Let's get a quick look at your forecast to start your Monday. If you have kiddos who are heading off to school this morning, here's your quick check right now. Oh, are we going to traffic? Let's see what's. I think that was just a little random graphic there. Here is your school day forecast. First bell. Pretty nice, 66 degrees. Really don't even need a jacket this morning for the kids. And then after school, look at that, 86 degrees. You might be picking up those kids with red cheeks and sweaty when you get them in the car. But nonetheless, a really nice sunshiny day for everybody. And even if you don't have kids and you're looking to get outside and walk the dog or get in your personal exercise routine, great day to do it. We'll join Greg again in just a few minutes for a more in-depth look at your forecast.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's take a quick look here at I-40 at I-24, just east of downtown at the junction. Listen, I've had a lot of experience with this particular exit over the years, not just with traffic, with live reporting, with personal driving. This is the Murfreesboro Road exit right off of I-24 there at the 440 junction. It's a very sharp curve. If you do not take it seriously, you can't spin out of control. There's nothing but rock walls on either side of it, okay? So they've now closed the exit because of a crash that we believe happened there at the exit further down out of sight of our cameras there. Yes, Jen?
Justin, if I may, it would look to me like perhaps somebody needs to do a little bit of landscaping to make sure you can see that yellow sign that is warning you about how sharp that curve is. You know it, and I know it because we drive it all the time. Sure. But if those trees are which from here it kind of looks like it, if those trees are blocking the view, it looks like they might need to get out there and attend to that.
It also has a speed recommendation there on that particular sign that you may not be able to see if it is blocked off there. If it is,
it's hard to see from this
angle. Okay. But either way, it looks like that exit is shut down, and it is going to cause some slight delays there for you. You can keep going there on 24, jump off at Harding, and then take Harding over to Murfreesboro. It's a little bit convoluted. I'm just saying, though, until they reopen the exit, that's going to be your best way to go.
All right. About 10 days left. Not much time for lawmakers to pass that school voucher bill. They're working with a lot of different opinions, and in fact 3 different drafts of this thing. We'll tell you what those on both sides of the aisle have to say to start the new week.
And a road rage shooting has left a person riding.
Play free games for a chance to win money. Play this month's featured game for a chance to win $100 or $1,000. Go to KFDM.com and you can win money.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Now on Fox 17 News this Monday morning, the clock is ticking for lawmakers to pass a bill on school vouchers. The forks in the road for school choice advocates.
And right now, a live look from Metro Center. Gorgeous start to this Monday. I'll tell you what, we are getting all the spring and summer feels right now, but the pollen is also off the charts. So Greg is going to talk about your forecast, the next chance for rain, and how that pollen tracker is looking to start this week.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-40 at Broadway, where we're still dealing with the aftermath of an earlier crash there. The exit is reopened. We're also going to tell you about an improving condition happening down I-24 as well.
Thank you so much for joining us here on a Monday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Let's get straight to our top stories new this half hour. We begin with the continuing coverage and the search for answers after a deadly case of road rage in Murfreesboro. Police say a driver started shooting at two people who were on motorcycles at the time.
Murfreesboro police say the driver of an SUV, 49-year-old Joseph Gann, shot at two bikers on South Rutherford Boulevard, that is right near Manchester Highway. It happened, according to police, just before 8 Saturday night. And one of those motorcyclists, we have learned, has died from the injuries. The others right now are in stable condition. Detectives, though, are still trying to figure out what led up to the shooting in the first place. Police arresting Gann. He is now facing multiple charges.
Also new this morning, we have a family who's going to have to find another place to live after fire destroys their home. The Laverne Fire and Rescue Squad confirming yes, and as you can see here from the pictures, it is a total loss. The good news here, nobody's hurt. They're currently investigating what started the fire, and the Red Cross is helping that family.
6:32 is the time. We were talking about earlier, the pollen count is going to be off the charts.
Oh, yes.
Go ahead and get that allergy medication ready to go.
If it was tough yesterday, it will be tough once again for you today, and pretty much the entire week is through the roof. I actually have that coming up for you in about 20 seconds. What's new this morning to wake up to is this near record-breaking heat we had yesterday. We're warm again today. High temperatures going to be in the mid to upper 80s this afternoon. We hit 87 yesterday. Mild morning temperatures right side of your screen, 50s and low 60s. No heavy coats necessary this entire week. No umbrella for today. However, going into tomorrow night and then on Wednesday, rain chances move back in. We're all clear when it comes to Code Red. Looking beautiful outside. Sun is coming up for us here on this Monday morning. And here are the pollen forecasts here for the next 5 days. You can't get much higher when it comes to pollen counts. Tree pollen being one of the biggest things here, really getting to us, and that's going to keep that way the entire week because it's just not that much rain from start to finish. Taking a look, there are a few days where showers and storms are possible, but just not a whole lot of rain to knock down most of that pollen out of the atmosphere. 87 today, 86 degrees tomorrow, low 80s on your Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. If this forecast holds, that means that'll be 5 straight days this week at or above the 80-degree mark.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic. Let's get out to a couple of things we're following here. We're going to get started at I-40 at I-24. The camera has frozen up for some reason, but the action out there is still going, I assure you. They have cleared that crash at I-24 at Murfreesboro Pike. That normally leaves a pretty sharp curve. I think this is part of it here at that exit. It brings you all the way around and out. Just know there was a crash here at one point. They were able to get that out of the way. All lanes are now reopened. Same can be said here at I-40 at Broadway. There was a crash here at one point that had the exit shut off. No more. That exit has now reopened. We're going to take a look at some other areas of town coming up in a few.
Justin, thank you. 6:34 is the time right now. Crisis in the classroom. The clock is ticking on school choice in Tennessee and the vote over whether to implement it. Now, if everything stays on schedule, our legislative session is expected to wrap up April 25th.
And while the voucher bill has 3 different versions proposed by the governor, the House, and the Senate, we are now taking a closer look. Fox 17 News photojournalist Kevin Mumphrey is live right here at the Capitol, giving us some live looks. The Senate's version does align more with Governor Bill Lee's. Meanwhile, members of the House, they're pushing for some changes. There are some Democratic members of the House who do not want to see this bill passed, and they're not confident that it's going to.
Representative John Ray Clemens, who is a Democrat, refers to this bill as a, quote, voucher scam, and he thinks it's going to undermine public schools. Now, on the other hand, Governor Lee tells Fox 17 News that he is hopeful this bill will pass before the session ends to give families in Tennessee a choice on where to send their children to school.
Reduced testing, more time to teach, less evaluations on our educators so that they can spend more time to teach, more flexibility in how we do our interventions with our students.
From my understanding, there is still a pretty wide disagreement between the Senate and the House on that bill for various reasons. So I hope that we can adjourn sine die and that bill, stays where it is now.
Well, Representative Sapicki says the bill will now be heard in subcommittee that is set for Tuesday, tomorrow, and that they are pushing to get a vote on the floor before session ends.
Leader Johnson says the Senate is hoping to do the same thing as well. Now, this story falls under the headline of Crisis in the Classroom as we take a look at issues and solutions in our school systems. If you have a story that you'd like us to look into, you can email us news@fox17.com, or you can call that tip line 615-266-4149.
Ahead on Fox 17 News this Monday morning, the first
criminal trial.
Yeah, and I mentioned just a moment ago, this is first of 4 cases against Mr. Trump. He's also facing election interference charges in a federal court in Washington and in state court in Georgia. Mr. Trump's 4th case involves his alleged mishandling of classified documents at his Mar-a-Lago resort. By the way, in case you haven't been following any of these cases, Mr. Trump has pleaded his innocence in all of this and has called it a witch hunt. So we'll be monitoring all the developments for you live through 9 a.m. and also throughout the course of the day at fox17.com.
6:39, taking a look at your forecast here. Up and out the door on a Monday to warm temperatures. Sun is already up over downtown. You're going to get a good deal of it today. A little more cloud cover for the afternoon hours, but the morning, nearly unlimited sun. Masters wrapped up yesterday. Maybe you're getting out there for your golf game this morning or early afternoon. Tea time forecasts for you here. So we get on the green, we go 90, or we should go 9 a.m., we go to 71 degrees. Noon, we go to 81. And then at 3 p.m., if you have a later tee off, 86 degrees. We have a breezy day ahead of us and pollen counts are up, so keep that in mind if you're going to be out on the golf course later today, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're going to be at a different ballpark of some sort here for any after-school sports. 7 p.m., 59 degrees, 55 at 8 p.m. We'll keep temperatures fairly decently here as we go throughout the rest of the evening. What I want to know is this, my curious question. What is the only continent in all 4 hemispheres? Asia, Africa, Europe, or South America? We'll have that answer for you coming up in the next check of the forecast and meet our dog of the day.
Steer clear traffic for you this morning. Let's get you out and about this morning on Vietnam Veterans Boulevard here at Gallatin Pike as you make that drive down from the Hendersonville, Sumter County area. We're going to let you know here that traffic is moving along pretty well. There are some small delays there for you this morning, but nothing out of the ordinary. Nothing is going to cause you significant time. We're accident free after a flurry of accidents earlier in the morning. Right now, we're doing just fine getting out there on the interstates. Just know there's going to be some congestion that could slow you up later in the morning.
In your community right now, Operation Crime and Justice, we head to Hopkinsville. A shooting there overnight has left 3 young people and 1 adult with injuries. Hopkinsville police say they think more than 1 person fired shots.
Let's take a look at the area where it happened. Happened right on West 17th Street, right next to the Christian County, Kentucky Health Department. Police say that the 4 people hurt are in stable condition. Detectives have also detained several people of interest so far in this particular situation. Now, if you know anything about this shooting, you're asked to contact the Hopkinsville Emergency Communications Center. That number is right there on the bottom of your screen.
If you're a Verizon customer now, or if you have been in the past, you could get up to $100 as part of a class action lawsuit. We'll give you the details in minutes.
And the Nashville Predators are playoff bound, but they've got 1 more game left to go in Pittsburgh.
Tonight at 7 on Fox 17.
Welcome back. Let's talk about sports. The Preds' final regular season game is tonight. Preds already, though, securing a spot in the Stanley Cup playoffs last week. Now they're fighting for better seeding.
Yeah, so we've got the Preds who beat the Blue Jackets Saturday night. That was their last home game of the regular season. They're going to try to carry that winning momentum, though, and lock in the first wild card spot looking ahead to tonight. We'll get to that in just a moment, but first, let's hear from the Preds players.
I mean, I'm excited. It's my first time ever playing in the playoffs, so a little bit, really excited. It's going to be a new experience for me. It's going to be fun for sure.
It's awesome. It's the best place in the world to play hockey, rocking Bridgestone Arena in the playoffs. So I'm excited. We got one more, and then a couple days to recover and regroup, and after that we're ready to go.
I'm excited. The fans are looking good for regular season games, and they're going to step it up a notch for playoffs. So it's going to be a good time. We're rolling, and we're a playoff team. So let's see what happens.
Well, thanks to that win, the Predators now only need one more point, and they'll have to get that tonight over in Pittsburgh. If the Preds win or go into overtime, they're going to lock up the top wildcard spot over the Las Vegas Golden Knights, and then most likely play Vancouver Canucks in the first round.
Erica's already brought out the fang fingers this morning. We got him here on standby. We're ready to go for the playoffs.
You got to rock it.
Or actually, I think we're supposed to put him down.
Oh. Okay,
I think.
well, news to me.
Well, no, but it feels natural to do.
We'll have to get it right. We got to get our Preds colors too.
Yes.
We're cheering them on. Right,
the last time we were really did well in the playoffs and made it all the way to the finals, we had the gold set.
I would love that.
We turned the lights on the set gold.
So these lights aren't just red and blue. We can actually do things.
We can do some things.
So we could do lots of things.
I have a feeling that might be happening at some point. Just my own personal thought. Curious question time, if you would.
I need to hear the question again because I missed it last time.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
What is the only continent in all 4 hemispheres? Asia, Africa, Europe, or South America? All 4 hemispheres. Think of the flat map.
Okay.
Oh, I'm giving the answer right now. Do your little stab at it if you want to. Here
Europe.
We go. Europe?
I don't know.
Got a guess, Erica?
Oh, I'm staying out of this one.
Staying out of this one? Right in the middle of the map.
Okay.
Africa, Northern Hemisphere, Southern Hemisphere, Western, and Eastern Hemisphere. See, go with your gut next time. There you go. You would have had the right answer. Our dog of the day is Sassy, sent in by Janet from Birdstown. Taking a look here. Got the nice little PJs on in the morning watching the news. I love it. Thank you for sending in your photos. We love having your dogs of the day right here on Fox 17 News every morning when we don't have bad weather. We like to spotlight our 4-legged friends. 87 degrees this afternoon. Don't forget the water for the dog walk later today. 86 degrees for your Tuesday, and then low 80s on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Wednesday, our next chance for a possible storm or two that we'll look at on Future Track in about 5 minutes.
Weather Window, presented by the National Weather Desk.
A gorgeous rainbow captured during the weekend as it snowed Saturday along the Blue Ridge Parkway in North Carolina. The rainbow appeared when temperatures were around or above freezing and rain mixed with this snow. And speaking of rainbows, here's a view of one in front of Utah's Wellsville Mountains and another one, a small but brilliant segment in Asheville.
For more content like this, like the National Weather Desk on Facebook.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get a look at what we've got going on out there at I-24 at Hickory Hollow Parkway. Coming through the Antioch area, it is a slow go. Now, we don't have any reports of any crashes out there. It is just congested with all kinds of traffic out there right now. So if you know you got to get out and about, you know you got to roll this way through Smyrna and Laverne, just know it's going to be not a quick drive into town. That window has closed. So here we go on the drive times. 29 minutes in from Mount Juliet. We are now over an hour and rising coming in from Murfreesboro. 32 minutes is the drive coming down Vietnam Vets from Sumner County. We'll continue to watch the roads here for you, let you know what we find.
Justin, thanks. Hey, today is going to be the last day for Verizon customers to cash in on a class action lawsuit. Now, this money is for customers who used Verizon between January of 2016 and November of last year.
And they can get up to $100 by signing up online or through the mail. The lawsuit alleges Verizon deceptively charged fees, which the company does deny. People who accept payouts, though, lose any kind of right to sue Verizon over this issue in the future.
Hey, a new survey out this morning shows that inflation, as you might have guessed it, is pushing a lot of people to their limits, and that does include their credit card limits. Rather astounding when we look at the numbers and how things are shaping out right now. There's a survey of about 1,000 adults from Debt.com that reveals 35% of them have maxed out their credit cards in the last few years.
Of those surveyed, 85% said that the increases in price because of inflation have caused them to go ahead and rely more heavily on their credit cards to make ends meet. The survey also showing that the credit card debt amongst millennials has grown faster than any other generation. Almost a third of young Americans say they owe at least $10,000 to $20,000 in credit card debt.
Yikes. 6:50 just about, and a new study shows that anxiety is the biggest concern among employees who are seeking mental health help. This particular study from a company called ComPsych showed that nearly a quarter of the people who were looking for mental health services from their employers last year cited anxiety as their main concern, outweighing issues like depression, stress, grief, or addiction, although important to note that any of those things could certainly fall into anxiety problems.
Yeah. There has also been a 300% increase in mental health-related leaves of absence since 2017. 69% of those leaves were taken by women.
The CDC is raising red flags right now as cases of the measles spreading across the country. Now, this is not a massive number of cases, but it is, according to some doctors, causing concern. Gary Baumgartner taking a closer look.
One of the world's most contagious diseases is surging across the country, not even halfway through 2024. And measles cases for this year are nearly twice the total for all of 2023.
We're just waiting for another outbreak to happen, honestly.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention confirming more than 100 cases across at least 17 states as of April the 5th. Symptoms could take 1 to 2 weeks to appear after someone contracts the virus. Those can include a dangerously high fever, cough, red rash, and more. It poses some of the highest risks for unvaccinated children.
For every 1,000 children that get measles, 1 will die and 1 will be brain damaged.
While measles is still common around the world, health officials considered the virus eliminated from the U.S. back in 2000 thanks to vaccines. But now the CDC says the uptick in new cases could threaten that progress. This is especially true because of how easy measles can spread. Traces can remain in the air for 2 hours.
When people have measles, they transfer it to 12 to 18 people.
The CDC is strongly recommending those eligible for the measles, mumps, and rubella shot get it, citing how 2 doses can be 97% effective in preventing the disease.
If you've completed the series of vaccinations, you should not have to worry.
Gary Baumgarten, Fox News.
Gary, thanks so much. 6:52 right now. Hey, in our community, wanted to give a shout out and congratulations to Morgan Price. She is a gymnast at Fisk University and just earned, for the first time ever, coming from an HBCU, the USAG, that's the United States Gymnastics Program, the all-round national championship.
Yes, so Morgan Price is her name. Her name is now etched in history, so congrats to Morgan.
By the way, I got to see her compete right here in Nashville.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, so my daughter's a gymnast, and we went to Municipal Auditorium, where they had a collegiate competition. There were Kentucky, Ohio State, Georgia, Fisk.
Some stiff competition.
Big universities, and so we got to watch Morgan Price there, and a lot of fun, so congratulations to her.
Well, ahead on Fox 17 News.
They're crash experts and their lawyers right to the scene, and none of them are there for you. But we are the minute you call. After your truck crash, call Ponce Law.
Good morning. Just a few minutes before 7 o'clock right now, taking a live look from Metro Center. This is a camera that we've got perched right on top of our station along the Cumberland River, looking like glass.
Looks so peaceful.
So calm and quiet, beautiful blue skies to start your day. We'll talk with Greg here in just a few minutes about how the rest of your Monday is shaping up.
We're also following international headlines, though, because it does impact our consumer news right here. Iran's weekend attack on Israel could cause some spike in oil prices.
Yeah, I mean, things have already been tough at the pumps, and unfortunately, we should probably brace for the prices to go even higher. Just in the back of your mind, be thinking about it, budget for it now. Maybe you skip out on those extra coffees at your favorite place for the time being. So the increases come after oil hit a 6-month high just Friday. And that was before Iran launched more than 300 drones and missiles at Israel Saturday. The global benchmark Brent crude reached $92.18 a barrel. We've also got crude out of West Texas. Those are up. We have some experts in the industry who say we haven't even seen the impact yet on production, so buckle up, hang tight, and prepare now.
And Jen, you're talking about money, we're talking about saving, right? Well, there is a new survey showing U.S. high school students are eager to learn about financial skills, but some say that they don't have access to the right resources to make that happen.
Right, so whether that looks like a class at school or whether it looks like parental involvement, a lot of our kids just aren't getting what they need. Intuit has a financial education survey that found a lot of our teenagers want to learn more about finances, but their high schools either don't have courses or their parents aren't teaching them at home.
So about 85% of teenagers say, yeah, they have an interest in learning more about financial literacy, and 95% of teens who are currently enrolled in personal finance classes say the curriculum is helpful. It makes a difference. Financial issues that teenagers say they found to be complicated include retirement, taxes, saving money, avoiding debt, you know, all the things, the stocks, the bonds.
Yeah, I'm so thankful. So both of our kids have this class at school.
That's fantastic.
And they've both been through it, so thankful for it. But then again, like, we have conversations at home as well.
Also, teenagers talking about retirement
that seems so far down the road.
Right.
It's hard to grasp when you're 15.
That is.
Sometimes it's hard to grasp when you're 35.
It's hard to.
Hey, yes.
Very, very true. Taking a look here. Yesterday we got close to a record when it came to a temperature for the day. We hit 87 degrees, 89 is the record. Today we'll be right up near that again. What does that mean for any flights leaving or coming into Nashville International Airport? Taking a look, 71 degrees at 9 o'clock, 86 by 3 p.m. Mainly sunny, no rain, a little bit of a breeze out of the south, but as of right now, only 9 flight delays so far this morning, 3 cancellations. So keep that in mind. Always check your flight before you head out, but everything at the airport itself looking pretty smooth sailing for right now. Taking a look downtown, you can see blue sky as far as the eye can see, 65 degrees. Our sun is up. It will quickly warm us in toward the upcoming afternoon, so keep that in mind. What does it mean for us overall on future track? Just a couple of clouds throughout the afternoon, and then tomorrow, same story. Next weather maker's not going to be until Tuesday night into Wednesday. This right here is 11 p.m. tomorrow night. We're going to have a brand new look at future track as we go into our 7 o'clock half hour and see if we have any adjustments to make to the forecast for Tuesday night or Wednesday.
Greg, thank you so much. All right, 6:58. Do you want to do a quick check of your steer clear traffic out there? How about Sumner County? This is a live look. Vietnam vets at Gallatin Pike. And you can see for yourself, we are not seeing any kind of issues as far as crashes or disabled vehicles. But yes, you are going to see a brake check. Folks are out there heading to school, heading to work, wherever they got to go. So just be mindful of that brake check. Again, this is Vietnam vets at Gallatin Pike.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
If you know someone who is doing great things in their community, we would love to share their story. It's part of our Hometown Heroes segment that we've been doing with Ponce Law for years now, where we find and award local hometown heroes $1,000.
And listen, this could be anyone you can think of: veterans, teachers, first responders, frontline workers, anyone who is doing great things in our community. Take a look at your screen to find out how you can nominate your hometown hero. You do so online. It's poncelaw.com/hometown hero. And then every month, a selected hero is then going to be featured right here on Fox 17 News.
Promotional consideration for this program provided by Ponce Law.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
I was totally disgusted and appalled.
At 7 o'clock right now, a couple living in Madison believes they're living with black mold and say their apartment complex is not taking this seriously. Fox 17 News working to get answers.
And Fox 17 News tracking all of your top stories this Monday morning, including a shooting near a South Nashville bar that left 6 people wounded. The shooter was out on bond. We're going to share the details we know so far.
And the battle over the Covenant school shooter's writings. What we're expecting in the case starting tomorrow.
Forecast keeping it warm. We could go back-to-back near record-breaking high temperature days, and then rain does move in. New updates to possible Wednesday storms.
Steer clear traffic takes us to Vietnam vets at Gallatin Pike in Sumner County. Coming up, we've got the very latest on your drive times coming down from Hendersonville.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Monday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
I'm Jennifer Waddell. We're glad to be your only live local news source through 9 a.m. When the other stations go to their network programming, that's pre-recorded. We stay live and local for you.
We are going to begin right now with some breaking news. We have been working to get some more information about a North Nashville shooting. Metro Police are investigating the shooting that they say left one person injured. And take a look at this map. We understand the shooting happened last night on the 2600 block area of Scoville Street. That is near Tennessee State University. One person has been taken to the hospital. Right now, Fox 17 News is working to get some more updates. And of course, we'll be sure to share any kind of details that we learn about.
Operation Crime and Justice right now. We have a woman waking up behind bars accused of shooting her own brother and killing him. It happened in East Nashville just yesterday afternoon. Metro Police this morning confirmed that Monica Wilson and her brother Michael Wilson had been in a fight about money when they say Monica shot Michael in the head, killing him. Michael rushed to Skyline Medical Center where he later died. Monica Wilson now facing charges of criminal homicide.
His smile is big. Everywhere you go, he always smiling. And I said, his smile is so great that you make him mad, he still will be smiling at you.
And this morning, a beloved Tennessee State University football player is being honored after losing his life in a devastating crash over the weekend. It's a hit and run that happened in East Nashville. This all comes as police are now searching for the driver of the car involved, who witnesses say never even stopped. We understand that the player was just 20 years old. His friends and family say that he will always be remembered by his positive attitude on and off the field. We're talking about Chazon Page. His family says they ask for any donations that the community might be wanting to give to go straight to the TSU football team.
Well, the friends and family of a Belmont University student who was shot and killed, they are continuing to go ahead and honor her legacy. A tree is now standing in memory of Jillian Ludwig. It's standing at a park. Over the weekend is where they planted it. That park is the same area where she lost her life. Listen.
It means a lot that she had such an impact on so many people. Jillian was one of the most all-rounded people I've ever met.
So friends and family coming out, showing their support, honoring her memory. Jillian Ludwig lost her life at the Edge Hill Memorial Garden last fall. She was out jogging and she was struck by a stray bullet. Well, the shooter with a criminal past was out on release back into the streets after a judge deemed him too incompetent to stand trial, but not mentally ill enough to be admitted into a facility. So we're still getting some more updates. Today we understand Jillian's law is anticipated to pass over at the state capitol. And this would then require criminal defendants too incompetent to stand trial to be committed to a treatment facility. They would also be registered in the National Criminal Background Database so that they could not buy weapons. The bill, by the way, has already received $2 million in funding in the governor's budget.
It's 7:04 right now. Happy Monday to you. If this is just the start of your day, good morning. Hope it's off to a great start. Blue skies and sunshine. Greg, listen, I know you've got some good details in the forecast, including warm temperatures for everybody who's ready to get out of the winter time. But I know you're also tracking some rain for us.
Yeah, there will be some rain. Not a lot of it, but it's always good to know those little pockets of opportunity so we don't get caught off guard by it. Also, just kind of fine-tuning how strong some of these showers or potential thunderstorms could be. So the big footnotes to know here. The big three things to know to start your week. 80 degrees or warmer all week long. When storm chances return, we're going to look at that. And also watching for any potential severe weather when those storms do move back into the middle Tennessee area. Taking a look, code red threat level still keeping it in the all clear. Our next storm chance will be Tuesday night. Our better storm chance across the board will be Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours. Our South Nashville camera was there 10 seconds ago, but now we're just back to gray. I guarantee you no gray sky, it's all blue sky. This is the one little kind of hiccup in the forecast. We have 5 straight days, 5 days in a row where pollen counts are through the roof, especially if you have tree pollen allergies. That is one of the highest things for us here this time of the year. We can't get much higher on the scales. Just keep that in mind. It'll be a bad allergy week for us. 87 degrees this afternoon, 86 tomorrow. Temperatures still stay right near 80 degrees Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And nighttime temps, even right now, waking up, just finishing our night. We're in the upper 50s and low 60s, and we'll stay there the next couple of mornings.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's get to I-65 at Boers Lane. This is coming down from Franklin. As you can see there, traffic moving along really nicely through the Cool Springs area. No major holdups at this point. Exactly what we like to see here on a Monday morning as you get out and about for that particular location. However, it does not look like this everywhere. Let's check out some of those drive times for you right now. Franklin still in the green at 33 minutes. Murfreesboro, though, a little slow. 73 minutes coming in from the borough right now. 39 minutes coming in from Hendersonville, as drives on 65 North and I-24 are both a little slow. Well, there's a battle over diversity, equity, and inclusion going on at the State House. One side is asking for accountability. The other side says it's just unneeded controversy. We're going to tell you when things got a little personal on the House floor.
This is the worst thing that can happen to a police department, a police officer, you know, our co-workers, is to lose a colleague in the line of duty, especially in this manner.
And we do have an update this morning on a story that has now gained attention across the state. The traffic stop in Memphis that sent 5 people to the hospital after a shootout with officers.
Crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Tennessee Home Buyers.
7:09 is the time. This week, the Tennessee House and Senate is expected to finish up their business for the year. But last week, they took up a measure involving DEI. Now, that's a term you may have heard, especially in the national news, quite a bit. It stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Now, the new bill would require colleges and universities who have DEI-related complaints to file a report with the state comptroller about their findings, and also it provides a way for lawmakers to investigate any claims that are not filed in a timely manner. Now, some state lawmakers didn't like it, and during the debate back and forth, at one point, things got a little chippy between Representative John Reagan and Representative Justin Jones. Watch.
I've looked some of y'all up and some of your Facebook. I've seen the sponsors' Facebook, and many of you went to segregated schools. You went to a divided America, and now you want to talk about that we cannot discuss divisive concepts when you grew up in a divided society. The sponsor grew up in North Carolina in a segregated school. And how do we teach that? How do we talk about that if we cannot talk about divisive concepts?
Representative, you have a question for him? I thought you had a question you were wanting him to answer. Representative Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I mean, my question, it was not, I don't know why people are objecting. It's a statement of fact.
To my esteemed colleague, I will point out, sir, that you apparently have a problem with reading because I did not go to a segregated school. The member alleged that he read on my Facebook that I went to a segregated school, which is an absolute falsehood, both in high school and in college. As a matter of fact, members of my wedding party were of your race. They were my groomsmen. So I will point out to you, sir, that institution.
Question was asked. He brought it up to him. That's a fair point. Representative Reagan, you're recognized.
I would point out to this gentleman that his accusations are less than accurate. And furthermore, this bill is not about the divisive concepts. It's about the reporting and investigation mechanisms associated with it.
So that's how that went there on the House floor. By the way, the bill did pass. Coming up, we're going to tell you about some changes that some lawmakers wanted to see before it passed. Shifting gears now, let's go to Memphis. We have an update to a story we first brought to you as breaking news early on Friday. It was an early morning traffic stop in Memphis that sent 5 people to the hospital after a shootout with police officers. We now know that at least one officer and one person who was in that car ended up dying from their injuries.
And once again, senseless deaths in our community by gun violence. We have a wife that's grieving now. We have the family of the suspects that are grieving now.
The mayor of the city of Memphis, Paul Young, responded to that deadly shooting on Friday, saying in part, we have to do more to hold violent offenders accountable for their actions, even our young people. We have to make sure that we are pressing for accountability. Senator Marsha Blackburn also released a statement saying in part, I am heartbroken to learn that a Memphis police officer, Joseph McKinney, was murdered in the line of duty while protecting and serving Tennesseans. My prayers are with his family, friends, and colleagues. Now, the TBI is now working to independently determine the series of events that led up to the shooting that, again, took the lives of 2 people, 1 police officer and 1 suspect. We'll continue to bring you updates as soon as we learn more. In the meantime, let's get to Greg Belvis. He's got a look at your Monday forecast.
Yes, looking pretty good here. Warmest day of the season yesterday. So coming up in the forecast, showers and storms. When do they return and which day could potentially bring some severe weather?
Family members representing the 6 people killed in the Covenant School shooting last year have now filed a ethics complaint against a Tennessee state senator.
Ram Truck Month, get $3,000 total bonus cash allowance on the 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cab, or get 10% below MSRP on the 2024 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew Cab.
Good morning, 7:15 right now. Looking ahead to tomorrow, there will be a hearing that will happen after months of delays to decide whether the Covenant shooter's writings should be made public.
And right now, Fox 17 News' investigative reporter Amanda Chin has a preview of what, Amanda, we can expect.
Good morning. Well, it's been a long time coming for everyone involved. The judge is expected to finally make a decision this week, but it hasn't been an easy road. A year ago, the National Police Association filed that lawsuit. The Tennessee Firearms Association, the Tennessean, the Tennessee Star, and Senator Todd Gardenhire joined the suit. But the court case had its fair share of delays after a debate ensued over who, if anyone, would be able to intervene in this public records case. Ultimately, a judge allowed the Covenant school families and church to intervene. They fear the release of these documents will further traumatize their community and create a copycat effect. On the other side, the petitioners believe the public has a right to see these documents, while some believe this could be used to prevent other shootings.
We, as Covenant parents and families, are resolute in our commitment to, one, protect our children and families, including those who were killed and all those who survived.
The point is they are public records once they take them into their possession. The law on that point is crystal clear.
All right, so Amanda joining us live here in studio to talk a little bit more about this. With regards to the leaked documents, right, that we saw months ago, how could that impact this case?
Yeah, so we know that this has not been talked about a lot in court, so it's really not clear right now how this actually affects the public records case. But we know that these three documents, a lot of them, we all read them. They were very disturbing to read. So we'll see if any sides use these writings to argue their case. That's what I'll definitely be looking out for tomorrow. And I'll be inside the courtroom and I'll provide all of us updates here on Fox 17.
All right, Amanda, thank you so much. Appreciate you.
And we also know a new beginning is ahead for students at the Covenant School this week, because they're getting ready to go back to their main campus over in Green Hills for the first time in more than a year. So a lot of emotions. And the private school has been making renovations and security improvements after the deadly mass shooting there last March that claimed the lives of 6 people. Teachers and staff members, they say they're ready to go ahead and welcome the students back sometime this week.
It's 7:18 right now, kicking off our Monday on a positive note weather-wise, especially if you're looking for blue skies, sunshine, and warm weather.
Yeah, I mean, all three of those things right there. The only thing that we all have noticed already, and maybe if you were out over the weekend, is the allergies. That's the one thing that we're not going to escape.
Might have to double up on your medicine. Like if you normally just take the little Zyrtec, you might have to do the nasal spray on top of it.
I do the spray and the pill.
You do?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
it's a lot.
Yeah, that and then the, a little bag of tissues. When you're heading
Saline spray, eye drops, cough drops.
It is going to be tough. Tree pollen is about as high as it can get right now. If you look outside, you'll obviously see why. In the last 2 weeks, everything has started to really bloom and blossom. So many green leaves in just the last 7 days. Near record-breaking heat yesterday, 87 degrees. The record is 89. Where were we? Close to it. Very mild morning. We're in the upper 50s and low 60s. That's how we're going to be the next 4 mornings in a row. Severe chances for storms. We've got to look at when the storms could be this week, and then any possibility we could get stronger or severe weather. And we will do that. But first, taking a look back, we don't show the almanac all that often. But when you get that is as close to that. Well, yeah, it was a noteworthy day yesterday. The old record set back in 2017 still is the record. We didn't quite get there just yet. But taking a look, 65 degrees will translate to another 87 later on this afternoon. Mainly sunny to kick off our Monday morning, and 65 degrees in Lebanon, 60 in Cookeville, 61 in Lewisburg. All of us are starting off warm, and we are all going to end in the 80s every day this week. We're going to at least get close to it across the board. What does it mean moving forward, though? Well, getting the kids to and from school, not a bad idea here when it comes to just leaving the umbrella at home, getting the sunglasses ready. 66 degrees at first bell, 86 degrees when the kids are getting home. Any after-school sports, no matter what they may be, if they're outdoors, you have no rain worries, maybe sunblock more than anything else to help you out there before the sun sets right around 7 o'clock this evening.
Steer clear Weather traffic for you this morning. Let's get out to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is coming in from the Whites Creek area. Whites Creek, Jolton, all of that. A couple of cars pulled over to the shoulder. TDOT is there trying to deal with the aftermath of that. It is going to slow you up just a little bit coming in from Jolton and Whites Creek there as you make that drive down near exit 40 for OHB down there. Nothing really substantial there. A slight maybe 5 to 10 minutes hold up there, but most traffic is getting by just fine. It is a little bit more congested here at I-24 at Waldron Road coming in from the Rutherford County area. You could try to take Murfreesboro Pike, but in all honesty, it just is what it is at this point. Coming down from that area, 73 minutes right now from Murfreesboro, 38 minutes coming in from the Franklin area. Still not too bad coming down from Clarksville at just over an hour.
In Operation Crime and Justice right now, we are keeping up on 6 people who are recovering after being shot over the weekend.
Yeah, this happened in South Nashville, right near the Soho Bar and Lounge. This is off Bell Road in Antioch. And after their preliminary investigation, police now say 24-year-old Eric Williams is responsible. The 6 people who got shot are all in stable condition.
Williams is now facing 6 counts of felony, reckless endangerment, and also unlawful possession of a gun by a felon. Police say they're also looking for more suspects, so this investigation is very much ongoing.
Big changes are coming to immigration laws across Tennessee. We'll tell you when Governor Bill Lee has a new law that's expected to take effect.
And also making history, a Fisk University. At 7:24, Fox 17 News following breaking news this Monday morning out of Baltimore. Minutes ago, the FBI announcing that they are going to open a criminal investigation into the deadly Francis Scott Key Bridge collapse. Now, we're working to learn more about what that investigation is going to focus on, but there are some reports stating that they're going to focus on the circumstances leading up to whether all the federal laws were followed. Keep in mind, there was video showing power issues moments before that deadly crash. And families who lost their loved ones, they definitely want some answers.
Erica, thank you. Governor Bill Lee signing a bill into law that changes how our state deals with illegal immigrants.
Now, this new law does require law enforcement and their agencies to communicate with the federal immigration authorities if they find illegal migrants here within the state. It also requires them to identify, detain, and deport them.
Now, there are some immigrant advocates who warn the law is broad and confusing and could embolden rogue officers to target immigrant families. But again, on the other side of it, you heard Justin mentioning this is a way that Governor Lee and many other leaders want to try to just get a hold of things here in our state. It is set to take effect July 1st.
Well, check this out. Memphis is known around the world for Memphis-style barbecue. Well, now Tennessee lawmakers want to make it the official state food.
Yeah, it's on the docket, you could say. The Tennessee House of Representatives passing a bill just Thursday to declare barbecue the official food of Tennessee. It's now working its way through the legislature. Senators expected to vote on the updated version this week. So how do you like your barbecue? Do you like it Memphis style with the dry rub? Do you like it more with like a vinegar sauce?
I just like barbecue in general.
Do you
I'm
like
not
the
picky.
sweet, thick sauce?
That's good too.
Yeah.
I'm not picky, honestly, when it
like
comes
it
to
all?
the barbecue. It's all good. I like good food.
One of my,
that's what I like.
I had my favorite ribs ever in Memphis. Not like the pulled barbecue, but the ribs with that dry rub.
Okay.
Well, I think we can all agree we're hungry now. First the ribs behind you guys, and then we're talking about all this.
Barbecue nachos.
Oh. Like a pulled situation. Oh, yeah. Yes, it absolutely does. 87 degrees this afternoon could be a good day to maybe fire up the grill. Maybe do a little barbecuing later on today if that's what you want to get yourselves into. Weather's not going to slow you down. A little breezy at times. Very warm. Yesterday was 87. So was today. Sunset not until 7:21. You have plenty of daylight hours left and ahead of you. A few storms, though, possible going toward the weekend and on the weekend themselves. So a sneak peek ahead, even though it's only Monday, it will not be as warm as the past weekend we just wrapped up. Only 71 degrees on Saturday, 66 degrees on Sunday. We're already about that warm right now, and that'll be your afternoon high on Sunday with cooler mornings in the 40s and 50s. Mainly dry, but a pop-up shower or storm can't be ruled out. Our better chance for some rain is going to be Tuesday night into Wednesday, and then Wednesday afternoon into the evening hours. The Fox 17 Code Red Weather app right there on your screen. Just scan the QR code. That's when you always have Doppler radar with you at your fingertips when you're on the go.
Well, coming up, We've got steer clear traffic out there for you. This is going to be I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. A crash with injuries there on the shoulder. We've got the details.
And we were just talking about our legislature trying to decide barbecue being the state food, but they've got a lot of other hot, big topics to talk about as well, especially the school voucher bill. 3 different versions. We got about 10 days ago before they...
Pickups. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by Eurostone. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Homeless encampments popping up along the Cumberland River. We'll tell you what the city is doing about it next.
Our forecast, blue sky as far as the eye can see. A few clouds pick up today. The next weather maker arrives within 48 hours. What we can expect coming up in the forecast.
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. We do have a crash with some injuries on the shoulder. We've got the very latest.
Thank you so much for joining us here on a Monday morning for Fox 17 News. I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Glad to be your live local news source through 9 a.m. Getting straight to our top story this half hour.
The trash and the overflow from the encampments into the Cumberland River has been going on now for years.
And a high cost of homelessness. It's a series you'll only see here on Fox 17 News. We have Metro Nashville closing encampments, most recently in North Nashville, but the encampments along the Cumberland River are still there.
It's a big issue, and right now Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse joining us live downtown with some more updates. Good morning, Peyton.
Good morning, Jen and Erica. So I'm standing right near the Cumberland River downtown, right by the state capitol building, and you can walk all along the river and you'll see some homeless encampments popping up on this side and on the other side towards Nissan Stadium. But the Office of Homeless Services tells us that they're working with city leaders and other departments to find solutions to tackle this issue. Now, living outside is something Rebecca Lowe with Reclaim Brookmead Park says should have never been allowed in the first place. Lowe says the homeless encampments along the river have been there for a long time and have not moved.
They're sometimes referred to as Old Tent City. They've been there for a long time. They have a reputation of being extremely vulnerable, meaning they're rough places.
Old Tent City is just one encampment. Council member Jacob Coupin says there's multiple groups living along the river, and Coupin says he's working with the Office of Homeless Services and other departments to address the short-term and long-term solutions for the area. Now, is this camp next to close? OHS says it cannot share specific information on encampments due to safety, and housing must be lined up before announcing closures. And in the next half hour, we'll tell you why Brookmead Park, Reclaim Brookmead Park, says it's not a good idea to wait for housing solutions. Reporting live downtown, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Peyton, thank you. We're going to check in now for your Monday forecast. It's hot. There you go.
Yeah, and if you thought yesterday was, get ready for it again. We're starting off very similarly with the sunshine. Temperatures already into the 60s. We hit 87 yesterday, warmest day of the year so far. And we're going to aim for right near 87 degrees later on this afternoon. We're tracking our next storm chance. That is not today. It's not tomorrow. However, tomorrow night into Wednesday, the chance for a pop-up shower or weak storm. Better chance going to be Wednesday afternoon and evening, when we could see a few stronger storms that might make their way into Middle Tennessee. A lot of variables working into that specific portion of the forecast, so we've got our eyes glued on Wednesday to make sure nothing catches us off guard when it gets here, well before it gets here. 65 and sunny. We are off to a very nice start. Up and out the door here on this Monday. You don't need the umbrella. You want the sunglasses, absolutely, to help fight that sun glare this morning. 71 at 9 o'clock, 76 degrees at 10. We do go all the way up to 87 right in the middle of the afternoon. 86 degrees tomorrow. That chance for a few showers and storms during the afternoon hours of Wednesday and into the evening. And we'll keep it right near 80 to round out the work week. But big cool down. We'll focus a little bit more on that coming up in about 15 minutes and check your forecast for that cool down that leads us to the upcoming weekend.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's go to I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. This is in the Whites Creek area where things have slowed down. We did have a crash where the ambulance has come and gone out there from that scene, and it is causing a bit of a slowdown coming in from the Whites Creek and Jolton community here. You may want to take Clarksville Highway or perhaps Whites Creek Pike. It's the best way to steer clear until they're able to totally clear this particular crash. The good news is the ambulance is gone. The fire department is gone. Now it's just TDOT, so hopefully they can get all lanes reopened of this here very, very soon. Watching that drive in from the south side, 65 at Moore's Lane, things starting to thicken up just a little bit on that drive. You could try to use Franklin Pike if you would like to, but right now you can still get by in relatively good time. We'll continue to follow the roads and any crashes we may see.
Are you confident that this bill will pass this session?
In crisis in the classroom, time is running out for Governor Bill Lee to get his universal school choice plan passed. This session could end in the next 10 days or so. They're looking at a target date of April 25th, and we still have 3 competing school choice bills circulating in our legislature.
Governor Lee and other Republican leaders believe they are making progress and will soon reach an agreement. But then we have some Democrats that we spoke with that say there's still a wide disagreement between both chambers.
The school voucher bill, also known as the school choice bill, would give families the choice to send their children to private or public schools that are out of their district.
Well, I'm confident that the bill will come before the House floor and the Senate too. I think there's still a lot of work to do explaining the bill to a lot of members that really haven't had a chance to weigh in on the bill.
From my understanding, there is still a pretty wide disagreement between the Senate and the House on that bill for various reasons. So I hope that we can adjourn sine die and that bill, stays where it is now.
Well, it's going to be taken up again in subcommittee tomorrow. We'll be there to let you know what happens. In the meantime, Crisis in the Classroom is our commitment to not only taking a look at issues in our schools, but also working to find solutions. So if you have a story you want us to look into, you can email us news@fox17.com or call the number on your screen.
Well, it's Monday, April 15th. It's tax day, the final day to get those taxes done, what you need to know ahead of today's deadline.
And a beautiful start to your Monday as we take a live look into downtown Nashville.
Until Tuesday, April 16th at 11 a.m.
See us on the web at ComusMontgomery.com.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm.
Just about 7:40 in Fox 17 News, we are going to show you a live look over in New York City where the Secret Service vehicles, take a look for yourself, they have taken over. Again, this is New York City. This is because the criminal trial is set to begin for former President Donald Trump. New York prosecutors accuse the former president of falsifying financial records to hide hush money payments ahead of the 2016 election. He is now facing 34 felony counts in a case that supporters call politically motivated. Critics, though, hope that it's going to change the presidential race landscape. Trump has pleaded not guilty. A whole lot more updates to come, again, out of New York City.
All right, Erica, thank you. Well, today is tax day, and some experts have gotten together to get some tips to help you avoid getting scammed on this particular day, as the Tennessee Division of Consumer Affairs is asking you to watch out for fake emails, fake calls, and fake text messages claiming to be from the IRS. They're also asking you to watch out for claims of unclaimed refunds that are linked of course, to something they may send to you with a click. Just click the link, take you here. Yeah, don't do that.
Have your spidey senses on high alert, okay? Be on extra awareness mode here to look for anything that might seem suspicious. And also, I know you may not need this reminder, but we're going to put it out there just in case.
Some people do.
Do not ever give your driver's license number, your social security number. Do not give your bank routing information to anybody for any reason. There are scammers who are going to try to make it sound real legit. They're going to say, oh, you made a mistake on your return. You got to, pay the money back. Don't fall for it, all right? The IRS will contact you in very official ways.
Not through a phone call,
You
though.
will know it's from the IRS.
Yeah.
So please, like we said, spidey senses on high alert. Please don't fall victim.
Steer clear traffic. Let's check in on that crash we were following from I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard. Emergency responders have left the scene. There's still a couple of cars there on the shoulder, but again, they've reopened all lanes to traffic coming down from the Whites Creek area. What is this doing to your drive? Right now, looking at 68 minutes, even though there is some backup there on I-24. The drive coming down from Whites Creek Pike and Clarksville Pike are looking very nice this morning if you want to take that route instead.
Hey, big congratulations this morning to an athlete at Fisk University, Miss Morgan Price here, making history as she Friday became the first athlete from a historically black college or university to earn a national collegiate gymnastics championship.
Morgan Price joined Fisk University's women's gymnastic team back in 2022. So congratulations to Morgan Price as being named the USAG first team All-American here as Fisk continues on like a Disney movie. Honestly, that gymnastics program has a movie flair to them. They really do.
7:42 is your time right now. We've got a live look from downtown Nashville. Hey, the Preds got a win over the weekend. They've got to go to Pittsburgh tonight, where they're going to try to get a point to secure their #1 spot in the playoffs with that wild card. We'll be keeping an eye out on that later tonight, plus an update on your forecast in minutes.
Plus, we've got a high school basketball standout hoping to walk again after a serious accident. He's getting some major support from a sports icon. Plus, a cocktail for trouble. We're going to tell you where you can no longer
% below MSRP on most 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L, and Gladiator models. Hurry, don't miss this great offer.
7:45 is the time. Big changes starting today. If you are hiking or hunting on state wildlife land, you have to leave your alcohol at home. Fox correspondent Lexi Horvath with the details on the new set of rules.
If you travel here to Prentice Cooper, you might find one of these signs beginning April 15th. The TWRA will be restricting alcohol on their wildlife management areas.
People become too impaired to safely navigate the trails.
The TWRA says that leads to a dangerous situation, whether you are on a side-by-side, an ATV, or any other off-road vehicle.
We were seeing a very high rate of accidents and fatalities associated with alcohol consumption while riding trails,
forcing wildlife officials to take a stance.
We're looking at an average between 60 and 70 life flights off the mountain when there have been major accidents where people are not able to leave on their own. We have a lot of folks who take their kids riding with them when they go trail riding, and we have hunters and other user groups out there on these WMAs. So we just want to be sure that we are doing our due diligence to reduce the rates of accidents and also to keep people safe.
Now, drinking alcohol or even having it with you in those non-designated areas, again, off the campground or the water, will be a Class C misdemeanor. That's a minimum $50 fine. You can still have alcohol on state lands if you are in a designated campground area.
7:47 is the time. We're checking in for your Monday forecast, and if it's going to be like Sunday, we may reach some records. So yesterday was the warmest day so far of this year.
Yeah. 87 degrees, 2 degrees. That's all we missed breaking the record, or at least tying the record set back in 2017. We hit 87, record was 89. So yes, that officially easily makes yesterday the warmest day we've seen since the calendar flipped over to the new year. Taking a look, showers and storms possible later on this week, not today though. Today and tomorrow looking good. Tomorrow night and Wednesday, next chance for showers and storms. Watching for any potential severe weather. Wednesday is a day that does have us in a Category 1 across most of Middle Tennessee. But think back to last week. We're still 48 hours out, and there are going to be some tweaks and adjustments. So now it's a day to watch. If we get any updates here throughout the rest of this morning, it may end up being a code red day for Wednesday. Don't worry about today. Don't worry about tomorrow unless allergies and you're going to be outside. You've got those. Any yard work adding to that could be real tough the next couple of days. But look at this. We don't get much higher when it comes to our pollen counts. Tree pollen is through the roof. We've got our dog of the day, Sassy, sent in by Janet from Burstown. Taking a look here. Waking up, having the PJs on, getting a little morning snuggle going here. Good day for a dog walk. The entire morning and afternoon, Find 1 or 2 opportunities to get out there. Right in the middle of the day, it might almost be a little too warm. To Erica's point, when temperatures are in the upper 80s, might want to limit that, but right now this could not look much better. 65 degrees. Your temperature at 8 o'clock will be up to 79 by 11, and then we're going to hang out in the low to middle 80s all afternoon into the evening hours. So keep that in mind. We also want your photos. Meteorologist Greg Bobus on Facebook. You find that pinned post, and that's how you keep sending your dogs of the day to us right here on Fox 17 News this morning. Upper 80s today and tomorrow. Lower 80s for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So all days if the forecast holds, and it's going to be iffy if everyone hits 80 on Wednesday and Friday. But as of right now in the Nashville area, we could have all 5 days of this week much warmer than we're accustomed to this time of the year. However, the weekend, a reality check. A few storms can't be ruled out on your Saturday into your Sunday, and that's going to drop our high temperatures back into the 60s and low 70s.
Steer clear traffic for you. Let's get out at 749 to Vietnam Vets at Gallatin Pike, making that drive down from Sumner County out there this morning. We're doing okay. A typical slow go there from the Hendersonville area, but no major crashes out there, at least not yet. That will lead to a huge slowdown. We're going to get to your drive time coming up in a second. First, I want to show you that drive time coming in from the I-24 at Old Hickory Boulevard area. This is coming in through Antioch. A slowdown there as well as the traffic gets tighter and tighter and tighter there, and things start to slow down. Now get to those drive times. How about it? Kingston Springs coming in at 33 minutes. Still not a bad drive coming in from Bellevue and places like that. Mount Juliet at 42 minutes. Murfreesboro 71 minutes in from Rutherford County.
All right, Justin, thank you. 7:50 is the time right now. Let's talk Preds. The final regular season game is going to be tonight. The Preds have to go to Pittsburgh. Now, we already have a spot in the playoffs, but now we're trying to get better seating.
Oh, yeah, so we're getting all the highlights and talking about what's ahead. The Preds beat the Columbus Blue Jackets Saturday night 6-4. That was their last home game of the regular season. They're now trying to carry that momentum, though, of course, to lock in the first wild card spot. And players, they're certainly feeling grateful for the playoffs. Listen here.
I mean, I'm excited. It's my first time ever playing in the playoffs, so a little bit really excited. It's going to be a new experience for me. It's going to be fun for sure.
It's awesome. It's the best place in the world to play hockey. Rocking Bridgestone Arena in the playoffs, so I'm excited. We got one more, and then a couple days to recover and regroup, and after that we're ready to go.
I'm excited. The fans are looking good for regular season games, and they're going to step it up a notch for playoffs. So it's going to be a good time. We're rolling, and we're a playoff team. So let's see what happens.
All right. So as it stands here this morning, the Preds just need one more point, and they will have enough to lock in the top wild card spot over the Vegas Golden Knights. So if they win or if they tie tonight against the Penguins, they get that point, and then they would most likely play the Vancouver Canucks in the first round.
Right now in your community, one local and very resilient teenager who suffered a life-altering injury is truly defying the odds and also getting a little bit of encouragement from a huge sports star.
Love to see these stories. We have 19-year-old Caden Heron, who was the top scorer for the Hillsboro High School basketball team and a Division I prospect. But a car accident left Caden unable to move from the waist down. He has a spinal cord injury, and ever since that crash, Caden has been working hard, just one day at a time, to try to walk again. Well, here's the point that Erica just made. He's getting a little bit of support from a big star.
That is so cool. Take a look at the photos here. Basketball hero Kevin Durant from the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, the NBA star making sure Caden got his very own jersey, an autograph, and of course, the VIP treatment on a visit to Phoenix. And Caden, we are 100% behind you as well. That is so awesome. If you want to read more about this inspiring story, go to fox17.com. Welcome to the Nashville Zoo. Some cutie pies are meeting the newest furry additions over at the Nashville Zoo that your family might want to go check out and see.
Yeah, looks like they're having some fun already. And a live look right now over at Geodis Park. We want to say thanks for waking up with us here every weekday morning. We're your live local news source Monday through Friday from 4 until 9 a.m. with those other stations.
Battery charges as you drive. Save thousands with 3.9% financing. Search your local Honda dealer today.
Just about 7:56, and right now, Fox 17 News, we are tracking breaking news involving a North Nashville shooting. Now, we do have our Fox 17 News crew right here at the scene where this happened. You can see it's a neighborhood. You can also see crime scene tape blocking off a portion of this street. It is located over in the 2100 block of 14th Avenue North. Yeah, there are the police officers. They're flashing lights. We understand one person was taken to the hospital for treatment. Again, this is over in North Nashville. As for information regarding who's responsible, who's the shooter, that is unclear, but our crews are out there giving you a live look, asking questions, and we're going to be sure to share any updates, any information that we learn, both on air and online. Yeah, there's one officer walking from that house, but again, this area in North Nashville blocked off with that crime scene tape.
Erica, thank you. Just a few minutes before 8 o'clock here on your Monday morning. And yes, spring is definitely in full effect, and so are the allergies. You might have noticed that the pollen is just really high right now. It's coating the cars, maybe your porch. Everything is budding, blooming, and blowing all those allergens around. And you know, we have had some windy, even gusty conditions around the mid-state. And unfortunately, this tree pollen and the grass pollen is going to stay really high for the next few days. So let this be your, little heads up advice. You may want to go ahead and make sure you get that allergy medicine or double up today and tomorrow especially. And then, Greg, maybe a little bit of rain will come in and settle things down.
We could really use a little bit of rain. Unfortunately, that's all we're going to get this entire week between now and the end of the upcoming weekend. A half of an inch to an inch worth of rainfall during that entire time frame. Taking a look, nothing happening today. It will be breezy again. It will be warm again with temperatures that will be in the upper 80s, very much so like yesterday. We're starting off crystal clear, a few clouds throughout the afternoon. That'll be it for your Monday. Tomorrow starting off a little bit on the cloudier side with some sunshine that'll work in on and off throughout the day. Here's overnight though. Tuesday night, 11 p.m. going into Wednesday morning. A chance for a few showers and weak thunderstorms to roll through. Here's 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Some specks of green. The more rain we get during the morning hours of Wednesday, the less likely it will be to get stronger weather later in the day. The sunnier we get, the opportunity for a few strong storms afternoon and evening of Wednesday cannot be ruled out. What does this mean to mow them? Even if you've got the allergies, if the lawn's getting long here, today and tomorrow are good days to get outside and take care of it, whereas Wednesday is that next best chance to see a few showers and storms that do roll in. So going to our 8 o'clock half hour, we'll take a look at the 7-day forecast and find out when we break up this little heat we've got going on and get back to 60s and 70s for highs.
Steer clear traffic out there for you this morning at 7:58. All right, let's take a look at Vietnam Veterans Boulevard at Gallatin Pike here on the north side. Traffic there moving along, but moving along slowly as more and more congestion starts to get out there on the road. So heads up, if you're making that drive in, just know there's going to be some small delays from there. Let's take a look at some other areas of town, can we? Will it let me? All right, let's try this. I-24, as you make that drive down from the Clarksville area, things are starting to loosen up after an earlier crash here really slowed things down. Looks like we still have a disturbance here going on at I-24 at the Whites Creek Pike exit 35, so heads up for there. But you can still get by here on Whites Creek Pike or Clarksville Highway if you're trying to steer clear from that. Other than that, we're off to a nice start. Mostly green out there, even though we've got some red spots at the typical locations.
Justin, thanks. In your community, 3 endangered tiger cubs at the Nashville Zoo getting settled and now ready for visitors.
Hey, they may be enjoying the warm temperatures. The Sumerian tiger cubs named Bulan, Zara, and Kyrian were born last fall, and they're just now being put out into the zoo's Tiger Crossroads habitat. Take a look here where they can be seen along with their mom, Anne. The habitat is open every day from 9 o'clock in the morning until noon, but the hours are going to be extended when the cubs are ready.
And interestingly enough, according to the International Union for Conservation of Nature, there are only 400 to 600 Sumatran tigers that remain in the wild.
You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
And at 8 o'clock right now, Fox 17 News tracking all of your local top stories this morning. First of all, we have a shooting that's happened at a South Nashville bar that has left 6 people injured. And we've also learned the suspected shooter had been out on bond. What we know there, plus we'll continue to keep you updated in the breaking news of the latest shooting in North Nashville.
We're also following the battles over the Covenant school shooter's writings. What to expect in this case this week.
Rough allergies and near record-breaking temperatures yesterday into today. How long this heat sticks around before another big flip-flop in our weather pattern coming up in a few minutes.
And steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at OHB and Antioch. Still a little stop and go. We'll give you the latest drive times.
Thank you so much for waking up with us here on a Monday morning. For Fox 17 News, I'm Erica Glover.
And I'm Jennifer Waddell. Fox 17 News is always your only live local news source through 9 a.m.
We're going to get started right now with breaking news. We are getting some more information about a North Nashville shooting. Metro Police are investigating a shooting that left one person injured. We're also mapping it out for you right here on the screen. This happened last night on the 2600 block of Scoville Street. That's near Tennessee State University. One person has been taken to the hospital. We are working to get some more updates, and of course, we'll be sure to share the details regarding this particular shooting.
And then the one we told you about just a moment ago, Erica brought us as breaking news. That's also in North Nashville, just a few minutes away from this location on 14th Avenue. So we'll keep you updated on that breaking news story as well.
His smile is big. Everywhere you go, he always smiling. And I said, his smile is so great that you make him mad, he still will be smiling at you.
A Tennessee State University football player has lost his life, now being honored after a hit and run in East Nashville. Police right now searching for the driver of the car involved, who witnesses say never even stopped. We understand that Chazon Page was just 20 years old. He pushed his girlfriend out of the way to keep her safe and then ultimately died. Page's family says they ask for donations right now to go to the TSU football team.
Well, Fox 17 News also following the friends and family of a Belmont University student who was shot and killed. They are continuing to honor her legacy. In fact, there is now a tree that is standing in memory of Juliet Ludwig at the park where she lost her life. We're going to show you some updates and listen here.
It means a lot that she had such an impact on so many people. Julian was one of the most all-rounded people I've ever met.
Now, Juliet Ludwig lost her life at the Edge Hill Memorial Garden. This was last fall. She was jogging and she was struck by a stray bullet. The shooter, with a criminal past, had been released back into the streets after a judge deemed him too incompetent to stand trial, but then not mentally ill enough to be admitted into a facility. Well, today, Julian's law is anticipated to go ahead and pass over at the state capitol. This will require criminal defendants too incompetent to stand trial to be committed to a treatment facility. They would also then be registered in the National Criminal Background Database, so that way they could not buy any kind of weapons. This bill, by the way, has already received $2 million in funding in Governor Lee's budget.
We want to tap back into the breaking news we mentioned just a moment ago. Unfortunately, we have had 2 shootings in North Nashville just over the last day, the latest happening this morning. We've got a Fox 17 News crew on the scene of the breaking news. This is 14th Avenue North in North Nashville, and you can see we've got crime scene tape up blocking off a portion of the street. We've got Metro Police on the scene. We do understand that one person is now at the hospital getting treated. As for information regarding who's responsible, that is still something we're working to find out. But you can see a neighborhood here, several houses close together. This, I mentioned it just a moment ago, is really only a few minutes away from the other shooting that happened yesterday on Scoville Street near Tennessee State University. This location that we're looking at now is about 7 or 8 blocks away. So monitoring the breaking news updates for you. We'll keep them coming in live through 9.
8:04 our time, taking a look at our code red forecast. No code red weather right now, but boy, was it warm yesterday. 87 degrees. 89 was the record on the date, so we got real close to it. Didn't quite get there. Well, you know, when storm chances return, though, tomorrow night into Wednesday will be our next weather maker that moves in more so Wednesday during the daylight hours. Tuesday night I'm not so concerned about, but 80 degrees or warmer all week long. We're watching for any potential severe weather when that storm system moves in on Wednesday. Some indicators we could have a strong storm or two if the morning hours of your Wednesday don't bring us some rain. So we have to watch the incoming weather we get on Tuesday night first. Warm, all clear for code red right now. We are still watching Wednesday. Breezy at times out the door, no worries. Mild temperatures in the 50s and 60s. Grabbing the sunglasses. I mean, the sunshine is nearly unlimited. That means when we're getting out there for all of our outdoor activities, like maybe the dog walking, or maybe we're doing a little yard work later today, getting the car washed. Good day for all of those things. The shades will be your accessory. You can leave the umbrella at home. 87 degrees this afternoon, 86 tomorrow, lower 80s Wednesday into Thursday and Friday. Next check of our coded forecast, we will look at future track and those smaller rain chances Tuesday night into early Wednesday, as well as the main weather maker that moves in later in the day.
Steer clear traffic. We have just picked up something new. This is going to be I-24 at Harding Place in the Antioch area. Dealing with a couple of cars there on the shoulder of the road. TDOT is there along with the Tennessee Highway Patrol dealing with that particular crash as you make that drive in. So heads up for you. You can see TDOT there. Asking everyone to move over one lane, so this is going to cost you some extra time coming in from the Antioch and Laverne and Smyrna area and ultimately Murfreesboro. Here on the north side, 65 Trinity Lane, just north of town. Typical traffic for this time of the day. You could try to take Ellington Parkway or Dickerson Pike is the best way to steer clear from there. We'll continue to watch this crash. You can use Murfreesboro Road. Looks like they'll be able to clear this up without a tow truck, but we'll wait and see on that as we continue to follow you here as we've gotten our 8 o'clock hour started. But there's a new battle over diversity, equity, and inclusion at the State House. One side is asking for accountability. The other side says it's nothing more than unneeded controversy. We're going to hear both sides of the argument.
This is the worst thing that can happen to a police department, a police officer, you know, our co-workers, is to lose a colleague in the line of duty, especially in this manner.
We have an update to a story that has gained a lot of attention here across the state. The traffic.
Nice. Get your free online valuation now at
WeBuyAnyCar.com. Fox 17 News, Code Red Weather.
Your first line of defense when severe weather threatens.
8:09 is the time this week. The Tennessee House and Senate is expected to finish their business for the year. But last week, they took up a measure involving DEI. That's diversity, equity, and inclusion. You may have heard those terms used in the national news quite a bit, especially as of late. Well, this new bill would require universities and colleges across the state that have DEI-related complaints to file a report with the state comptroller about any findings that they have, and also give state lawmakers a chance to investigate any claims that they say are not being filed in a timely manner. They call it nothing more than some accountability for DEI-related types of claims. However, some lawmakers like Sam McKenzie from Knoxville think it's completely unnecessary.
The last bill we did I did not vote for, but this body passed, did exactly what you wanted to do. Get rid of DEI on our college campuses. University of Tennessee had a course that someone audited that started complaining and sending you all's texts. Your 70-something-year-old Arizona person that was just auditing the course that entered the course to create drama. That's what you're gonna have.
The comptroller is charged with collecting data and not taking action. Their action is to report whether or not investigations are complete and correct. There's no fines that they can levy. And if they happen to have more than 10 at a time on one particular institution in a single academic year, they are to report that to the Government Operations Committee. So again, no fines.
Well, this bill did pass the House of Representatives, and the Senate is expected to do the same. An update this morning to a story we first brought you as breaking news on Friday. An early morning traffic stop in the city of Memphis sends 5 people to the hospital after a shootout with police officers. We now know that one officer and one person in the car that they were dealing with ended up dying from their injuries.
At once again, senseless deaths in our community by gun violence. We have a wife that's grieving now. We have the family of the suspects that are grieving now.
Senator Marsha Blackburn released a statement saying, in part, "I am heartbroken to learn that the Memphis police officer Joseph McKinney was murdered in the line of duty while protecting and serving Tennesseans. My prayers are with his family, friends, and colleagues." The TBI is now working to independently determine the series of events that led up to the shooting that again cost the lives of 2 people, 1 officer and 1 suspect.
Coming up in the Cookeville forecast, beautiful blue sky for now. When the clouds roll back in, the 2 best chances for a few showers and storms, and how many more records it could be close to breaking for temperature.
And the debates on Capitol Hill over support for this.
Lots of people don't realize that mold feeds off moisture in their crawl space. But don't worry, we got this.
At AFS, we'll do a home inspection for free.
Tense moments there, sounds of explosion making international headlines this Monday morning. World leaders are waiting to see whether Israel will retaliate after Iran launched a weekend attack involving hundreds of drones, ballistic missiles, and cruise missiles as well.
And joining us this morning for some local perspective on this international story is political analyst Linda Shack to talk about the tensions here. Linda, first question for you is, as we wait on the G7 and Israel to respond to what happened over the weekend, what are your first thoughts on how this might play into the bid for president later this year?
Well, before we talk politics, I think we have to acknowledge the human toll and the humanitarian crisis that not only exists now, but would only expand if this were to move into a wider war. And that's the reason that both the G7, the UN, and President Biden have urged Israel to have a limited response. As far as history and politics is concerned, every president since Jimmy Carter negotiated the Camp David Accords has tried in some way to bring about a peace in the Middle East, and that has fallen short. So from a political standpoint, President Biden is part of that long line of presidents attempting to support Israel as the U.S. has since it was founded right after World War II, and at the same time try to bring about peace in a region that is fighting not only about land and security, but also about faith. From a political standpoint, we used to say that politics stopped at the water's edge in the U.S. That is not the case now, and so we have a divided government, divided over what kind of aid to send, not only to Israel, but also to Ukraine. And what happened from a political standpoint in Israel with this Iranian attack is that the strength of the support for Israel in the U.S. appears even overnight to have coalesced and to be more unified than it was before.
Okay, Linda, as congressional leaders talk about sending aid to Israel this week, what do you anticipate as far as decisions being made towards that deal?
Well, as I said, I believe that now with the Iranian attack, that you're going to see Congress to move quickly to not only restore, but to send as quickly as possible more aid to Israel. And that helped Netanyahu, the prime minister of Israel, in his political battle because he was beginning to lose support for what President Biden has called his over-the-top response to the October 7th Gaza Hamas attack.
All right, Linda Shack, thank you so much for your time this morning. We appreciate your perspective as always.
And at 8:18 is your time taking a look at your forecast. Not a whole lot to put together today that's not a lot like yesterday. Temperatures upper 80s, blue sky right now. Maybe going to get a little more yard work, a little more gardening done. Note that the pollen counts are very high already, and they're not going down until toward the end of this week. 71 at 9 o'clock, 81 degrees at noon, 86 at 3 p.m. Mix of sun and clouds for the afternoon, but right now we are unlimited for sunshine. Our severe weather outlook, though, going into your Wednesday, hints that there could be a few strong storms going into the afternoon and evening hours, but it's very much so dependent on Wednesday morning. If we get rain and a lot of cloud cover early on Wednesday, it limits our potential to fire off thunderstorms later in the day. Today, none of that happening, but that's a little sneak peek ahead to a day we're watching on Wednesday for you. Taking a look, future track throughout this afternoon. Not a drop of rain going into tomorrow. We're looking dry as well. Tomorrow won't be quite as warm as today, a few clicks cooler, but overall, you can see Tuesday night and then here's Wednesday morning. A few scattered showers and weak storms. That's what would limit us for later in the day on Wednesday. We'll have our eyes glued to it as quickly as we can for as long as we can going into the next couple of days. 87 degrees today. That would tie yesterday's temperature for the warmest day so far this year.
All right, steer clear traffic. Let's get started with that crash down on I-24 at Harding Place. It's down the Antioch area. You can see a few people still waiting there on the shoulder of the road this morning as we continue to try and figure out what happened of a crash there coming in from the Antioch area. The good news is no lanes, just one lane, actually. One lane blocked off here as people are coming in. Looks like TDOT's going to start to put out some cones, and if they are putting out cones, that means this is going to be there for a while. So that's not good good news if you're coming in from that particular part of town. As a matter of fact, let's go ahead and get to your drive times this morning. 66 minutes now coming in from Murfreesboro. The time continues to drop, even though that crash just got there. That's all because there's less and less people getting on the road the further we move into our 8 o'clock hour.
I was totally disgusted and appalled.
Madison family believes they are living with black mold and say their apartment complex is not taking this matter seriously.
Yeah, we're showing you some of the photos for a closer look here for yourself. Carolyn McNeil and her boyfriend say they began feeling sick a few months back, but did not notice the black substance growing behind their vents until a few days ago.
So they're confident this is black mold, but they say their leasing office says otherwise.
After they sent maintenance out here, he tried to tell us it was due to candles burning. I think it's totally misleading and them just trying to cover up themselves, honestly, and not take accountability for it, in my opinion.
Now, Ms. McNeil says that the suspected mold also showed up on some of their clothes, which they had to throw out. The remaining items are sitting in trash bags as they sleep in the living room for now.
Yeah, our Fox 17 News crews went out there to the leasing office trying to get some answers. It's located off of Hendersonville, and we're still waiting to hear back. So, of course, we'll keep you posted on this story. The residents, though, telling us that they're worried if they terminate their lease early, they risk paying a fee and then having negative marks on their rental history.
Fox 17 News always working to help you in your community. Whatever's going on, you can let us know. We can investigate for you and sometimes keep your information confidential. Scan the QR code right here to get to the news app, and we'll show you just how to do that.
Well, coming up on Fox 17 News this Monday morning, we are covering immigration laws across the state. We're going to tell you when Governor Bill Lee is set to enact a new law.
Thanks so much for waking up with us here on Fox 17 News this morning. A live look into downtown Nashville. Weather's looking great for today. Pollen not looking so great.
Dampred's new fast-acting drop-in tab attracts and traps excess moisture, eliminating musty odors.
Welcome back. 8:25 is the time, and right now, Fox 17 News, we are going to show you a live look over in New York City, right outside of this courthouse. Now, the camera is not showing just how busy this area is. Secret Service is in this area. It is where the criminal trial is set to begin for former President Donald Trump. New York prosecutors accusing Mr. Trump of falsifying financial records to hide hush money payments just ahead of the 2016 election. So he is facing 34 felony counts in a case that some supporters call politically motivated. And then critics, they say they hope that this is going to change the presidential race. So a lot of updates to come out of New York City. Trump, by the way, has pleaded not guilty.
And at 8:25 right now, Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signing a bill into law that changes how our state deals with illegal immigrants.
Now, this new law would require law enforcement agencies to communicate with the federal immigration authorities if they find illegal immigrants in their day-to-day operations out there. It also requires them to identify, detain, and deport them.
Immigrant advocates warn the law is broad and confusing, and they say it could embolden rogue officers to target immigrant families. Nonetheless, it takes effect coming up July 1st.
8:26, check on your forecast here, and the daylight hour is going to put us well into the 80s, but maybe you want to get outside, catch a few fireflies later today, maybe have a little bonfire once the temperatures cool back just a touch. 6 p.m. still not down, but still not done with the sun just yet. 85 degrees after a high of 87. However, we'll begin to dip by 8 o'clock into the 70s and continue to fall through around 10 o'clock as well. Comfortable evening for anything, and maybe you're not out at the fire, but you're going to be out at the baseball field, kids after school sports. Everything looks good. Have the sunscreen and sunglasses for you today, and you'll be in the best place you can. Taking a look at this weekend, not going to be nearly as warm as last weekend, or as even today will be. Only 71 on Saturday and 66 on Sunday. That means something has to push in that cooler air. That's going to happen on Friday. So we have a few chances for storms going into the upcoming week. We have one chance tomorrow night into Wednesday, and then another one on Friday. We'll take a brand new look at the timeline of that coming up as we go into our 8:30 half hour, just a few moments.
Also coming up next at 8:30, we've got to look at your steer clear traffic. That's I-24 at Harding Place. That T-Dot truck blocking one lane. There's an accident up ahead. We'll tell you.
$1,000. Go to KFDM.com and you can win money.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm. You're watching Fox 17 News This Morning, your Code Red station.
Family members and local leaders continuing to go back and forth over the Covenant School shooters' writings. Coming up, Fox 17 News' investigative reporter Amanda Chin breaking down what happens next in this case.
Bright sunshine temperatures soaring well into the 80s once again today, but I'm tracking 2 weather makers by the end of the week. What to know on the rainiest days ahead?
Steer clear traffic takes us to I-24 at Harding Place. Multi-car crash on the shoulder of the road. We're going to tell you the best ways to steer clear.
Justin, thank you. We're going to tap into breaking news that we're following right now, this 8:30 half hour, a live look from North Nashville, where we have confirmation from Metro Police that a shooting happened here. This is the 2100 block of 14th Avenue North. This is about 7 or 8 blocks from a shooting last night in the same area, not far from Tennessee State University.
And we are getting some updates from dispatchers who do tell us there was an argument between 2 men that led to 1 man ultimately being shot, the victim suffering minor injuries, and the other person reportedly responsible then taking off.
Right, so we can see still very active here, crime scene tape, local police, and also neighbors still in this area. You can see the homes are very close together. We'll monitor this as police work on their investigation and bring you more details as they come in.
We're also looking ahead to Tuesday. That's when a hearing is going to take place after months of delays to decide whether the Covenant School shooters' writings should be made public.
Fox 17 News reporter Amanda Chin has a preview of what we can expect. Good morning.
Good morning. Well, it's been a long time coming for everyone involved. The judge is expected to finally make a decision this week, but it hasn't been an easy road. A year ago, the National Police Association filed that lawsuit. The Tennessee Firearms Association, the Tennessean, the Tennessee Star, and Senator Todd Gardenhire joined the suit. But the court case had its fair share of delays after a debate ensued over who, if anyone, would be able to intervene in this public records case. Ultimately, a judge allowed the Covenant School families and church to intervene. They fear the release of these documents will further traumatize their community and create a copycat effect. On the other side, the petitioners believe the public has a right to see the documents, while some believe this could be used to prevent other shootings.
I think that there's a risk for public safety. I think that there's a risk for mental health harm to the children and families that survived the Covenant School shooting.
It could be useful in learning why it was done and then prevent, in some instances, future incidents like that.
Now, Amanda, at the same time, there's also a federal ruling for these writings, correct?
Yes, exactly. So the Tennessee Star actually filed a federal lawsuit against the FBI for the release of these writings. Now, that federal judge ordered the FBI to turn over the shooter's writings to the court. So this means a judge will review them and determine if they should be released. We don't have an exact timeline on that, but again, that is separate from the case that we'll be attending tomorrow. I'll be live inside the courtroom too.
All right, Amanda, we'll look forward to your updates. Thanks so much.
There is also a new beginning ahead for students at the Covenant School this week. They are set to go back to the main Green Hills campus for the first time in more than a year.
Yeah, you know, they have had a temporary home at a local church. The private school has been making renovations and security improvements after the shooting there last March that killed 3 children and 3 staffers, 6 people in all. Teachers and staff say they are ready to welcome back students this week.
8:34, we almost broke a temperature record yesterday. We missed it by 2 degrees, 87 we topped out at. And trying to find weather anywhere around us, there's absolutely nothing to worry about again today. Blue sky for the time being. You can see it right there. Gorgeous look at downtown Nashville. Temperatures already climbing because of that sun, and pollen counts also climbing because of the wind. The lack of rain and wind gusts up near 20 miles per hour later on this afternoon mean a very rough day for tree and grass pollen especially, and that's going to be the same case the entire week. You can't get much higher when it comes to those 2 allergens. That might be literally your eyes later on today. Just trying to get out and get out and about today. Keep that in mind. That's going to be the story for the week. When it comes to temperatures, we're already getting close to 70 degrees. It isn't even 9 o'clock yet, so that just gives you how quickly we're going to warm and stay that way for the the entire morning. That means when we're out there taking the dogs out, getting the yard working done, going to the after-school sports and whatnot, the allergies will be in effect for us here. Leave the umbrellas at home, though. No need for that. 81 degrees by noon. Forecast temperature going to climb us up to not just 87 degrees today, but also 86 tomorrow. Low 80s Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. But we're going to stop and take a little break here in a little bit and talk about Wednesday and Friday specifically when it comes to any storm potential before the end of the week.
Steer clear traffic out there for you. Let's take a good look here at Briley Parkway at Gallatin Pike. We do have a crash there on the shoulder of the road, shutting down at least one lane there in the Briley area. Coming around from Donaldson towards Madison, for instance, this is right there at the exit. It's over on the shoulder. Authorities are on the scene, not causing major delays, but certainly something you want to be aware of. Just don't go flying by here. Slow down, give them some space there to operate. Speaking of slowing down, same can be said here at 24 Harding. You make that drive into town. We've got a multi-car crash here on the shoulder. TDOT is on the scene along with the Tennessee Highway Patrol. They do have one lane closed here, causing slight delays back behind it. You can always use Murfreesboro Pike or Antioch Pike, even in this case, in order to steer clear of this. We're going to take a look at drive times as soon as we get those details available.
I don't know who I was with, what I was doing, how long I was from the bar to my house.
Someone working in the hotel and my coworker got me upstairs to the room, and I was completely gone.
Right now in Operation Crime and Justice, investigating issues impacting Music City. Fox 17 News continuing to ask questions after hearing from bar patrons who believe they were drugged at Nashville hotspots. You just heard from one there. We're now sharing more firsthand accounts from victims, and of course we'll continue updating this story. So in order to keep up with how our local leaders and law enforcement is handling the issue of roofies in downtown Nashville, go to fox17.com and stay in the know.
A suspected case of road rage leaves a motorcyclist dead and one other motorcyclist hurt, what police say happened over the weekend. And still on our hearts and minds as we enter a new week, Fox 17 News still tracking the search for Sebastian Rogers since he disappeared.
Fits. Go to thatfitter.com to book your free consultation.
This Fox 17 This Morning newscast is sponsored by the Rocky McElhaney Law Firm.
Good morning. It's 8:40 right now. Operation Crime and Justice. This morning, the Clarksville Police Department still on the hunt, and they need your help to find whoever is responsible in a burglary and a theft case.
Now, police say on Wednesday afternoon, the woman that you see right here wearing the royal blue jogging outfit came into the Villages at River Club. Investigators say she asked about a job. Then she went into an office. That's where they say she stole the personal ID cards and then some cash and then left that office.
Well, I guess maybe the joke was on her because a few minutes later she tried to use the victim's stolen credit card at a nearby Dollar General and it was declined. So all of this according to the police report and the surveillance video. If you have any information at all that could help Clarksville police solve this crime, you can give them a call.
Checking in with Steer Clear traffic this morning. Got a couple of scenes to show you. Let's get started here. Briley Parkway, Gallatin Pike in the Madison area, right there at the exit. Authorities are there with a couple of cars that got together in the road. Now, one lane is shut down. Just please give them some space as you get out there. We know you got to slow down to take that exit there, but you don't want to end up in the wrong end of a Metro Police car. I promise you that's going to be a bad Monday for you. Here's a look at I-24 in Harding Place in the Antioch area. Still waiting on a tow truck to get there to deal with this. TDOT is there along with THP. You want to try to take Murfreesboro Pike perhaps or Antioch Pike. That's a good way to steer clear of this particular crash there. Also keep in mind as we get towards 9 o'clock, there'll be less and less traffic out there. So perhaps the drive time could be a little bit easier as we get towards 9 o'clock.
We go to Murfreesboro this morning with continuing coverage of a deadly case of what police are calling road rage when a driver started shooting at two people on motorcycles. One of those motorcyclists has died. The other is still recovering. And we have 49-year-old Joseph Gann, who is facing charges accused of shooting at both bikers on South Rutherford Boulevard near Manchester Highway All of this happening around 8 o'clock Saturday night.
Now, one of those motorcyclists, as Jim mentioned, did die from his injuries. The other one remains in stable condition. Detectives are still trying to determine exactly what led up to this shooting. In the meantime, Gann is facing multiple charges after being placed under arrest there by Murfreesboro authorities.
It's 8:43 right now, and we've got a live look from Nashville. We'll join meteorologist Greg Bobus in just a couple of minutes for a deep dive into your forecast.
Homeless encampments popping up along the Cumberland River.
$100,000. Our result, $1 million. Call 800-800-4600.
The trash and the overflow from the encampments into the Cumberland River has been going on now for years.
And Fox 17 News is documenting it now as new revelations really after the search for Riley Strain in Nashville after he disappeared, bringing to light the homeless camps and the problems along the Cumberland River. They have not moved, according to a local nonprofit.
It's a big issue, and right now Fox 17 News' Peyton Muse joining us live downtown. And Peyton, what are you seeing in this area? What is to come there?
Well, good morning, Jen and Erica. So we saw actually when we came down here earlier this morning, a few homeless encampments, little tents popping up along the river. And that's what Reclaim Brookmead Park says has been going on for years now. And encampments, they've closed in Nashville, most recently one in North Nashville. However, the encampments along the Cumberland River have stayed here for years. Reclaim Brookmead Park's founder, Rebecca Lowe, says this is an eyesore and has been for the city, especially for tourism. And the city needs to take an aggressive approach to get people off the streets and into housing.
It's unacceptable that they are not addressing at least that. But they have a tendency to just take a hands-off approach until we have housing for everybody. And it's just not feasible. It doesn't make any sense.
The Office of Homeless Services says in part it's imperative to ensure that housing solutions are aligned and in place to meet the needs before announcing closures to the public. And the department says it cannot share specific information on encampments for safety reasons. OHS says it's working closely with city leaders and other metro departments to tackle safety concerns for people living right here along the Cumberland River. And as of right now, OHS has not finalized the next encampment closure. We'll keep you updated on that when they do make that announcement. Reporting live downtown, Peyton Muse, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
8:47, and I'll look here at your forecast, and I'll give you a curious question first. What is the only continent in all four hemispheres? Northern, southern, eastern, and western. Is it Asia, Africa, Europe, or South America? All right, let's talk weekend forecast, and we'll get you back to that curious question momentarily. What gets us from here to the weekend? Two weather makers. Today, 87, sunny, blue sky, a little breeze, and high pollen. That is today in a nutshell. This is Wednesday. The chance for a stronger or potentially even severe thunderstorm cannot be ruled out. That chance is low. It all depends on what happens Wednesday morning. That was Future Track for all of today. Nothing but a few clouds. Going into tomorrow, a few clouds as well. We're going to stop here at 11 p.m. tomorrow night into your Wednesday. A few scattered showers and storms overnight into very early Wednesday. The more of this, which is 10 a.m. on Wednesday, that we end up getting for those early morning hours. Even really light rain showers will go a long way to not give the atmosphere as much of a kickstart that it needs to fire off a few storms for that afternoon and evening. We're watching it very carefully. As of right now, it is a day to monitor. What is the only continent in all four hemispheres? If you guessed Africa, you were correct. It is in all four of them. If you look at the flat map of the earth, you'll see exactly what I mean. Taking a look here. When to mow. Today's a good day. Tomorrow's a good day. I would say no for your Wednesday. Or maybe you just want to enjoy being outdoors for the first time in quite some time. 85 degrees at the bonfire later on today. That'll be the 6 o'clock temperature. We'll go to 79 degrees at 8 p.m. And then eventually 73 at 10 p.m. Coming up before we're done with you here and let you go at 9 o'clock, I have one more look at the 7-day forecast for you coming your way in a few minutes because I have adjusted some numbers and there is a bigger cool down on the way before the end of the next 7 days we'll find for you.
All right, everyone, steer clear traffic out there for you this morning. Let's get started here at this is actually Briley Parkway at Gallatin Pike. As you make that drive out and about there in the Madison area, people have to slow down to get off at the exit there. But overall, not that big of a deal making that drive over from Donaldson towards Madison out there this morning. You're doing okay. Just take a little extra time, 5 to 10 minutes maybe. Same can be said for this drive. I-24 at Harding, making that drive in from the Antioch area. Not really costing you a lot of extra time, maybe 5 to 10 minutes, a slight backup here, but overall not too bad. We're also dealing with one other problem coming up from the Franklin area. Just picked up a crash near Concord Road. Not showing on our cameras, not showing a big backup as of yet, so you're doing okay. 42 minutes coming in from Mount Juliet, around an hour from Murfreesboro, 33 minutes from Kingston Springs.
Justin, thanks. Let's talk sports. Specifically the Preds.
Should we bring them out?
Bring them out, break them out. Time for the Fang Fingers. They have already secured a spot in the playoffs, so here we go. She likes those Fang Fingers. Well, what the Preds are going to do tonight is try to get better seating. So we've wrapped up the regular season at home. We go on the road tonight to Pittsburgh. Over the weekend, we beat the Blue Jackets, and that, as I mentioned, was the last home game of the regular season.
And of course, they're trying to carry that momentum and to lock the first wild card spot. The players, they're feeling grateful for the playoffs. Listen to him right now.
I mean, I'm excited. It's my first time ever playing in the playoffs, so a little bit really excited. It's going to be a new experience for me. It's going to be fun for sure.
It's awesome. It's the best place in the world to play hockey. Rocking Bridgestone Arena in the playoffs, so I'm excited. We got one more, and then a couple of days to recover and regroup, and after that we're ready to go.
I'm excited. The fans are looking good for regular season games, and they're going to step it up a notch for playoffs. So it's going to be a good time. We're rolling, and we're a playoff team. So let's see what happens.
Best place in the world to play hockey. Now, thanks to that win, the Predators now only need one more point, so they're really going to have to get that point in tonight over in Pittsburgh. If the Preds win or they go into overtime, they're going to then lock up the top wild card spot over the Vegas Golden Knights, and then most likely play Vancouver Canucks in the first round.
We have a TSU football player who has died after being hit by
Right now, Fox 17 News is recapping our top stories this Monday morning.
Tracking a North Nashville shooting. We have our Fox 17 News crews out there this morning. We can see investigators talking with folks living in this area. This is just off of 14th Avenue North, where the police tape is up. Metro Police have been on location. We understand, as we've made a couple of phone calls, that one person who got shot went to the hospital. We understand that police are still looking for the person responsible after they got into some kind of fight, and then that person who reportedly pulled the trigger, took off running. So we'll be sharing more updates with you on this story, both on air and online.
Yeah, meanwhile, we're also following another North Nashville shooting. We are working to get some more details from Metro Police about the particular location that left one person injured where the shooting happened. Now, this was last night over on the 2600 block of Scoville Street. We're mapping it out for you right here, and we do know it's near Tennessee State University. One person was taken to the hospital, but again, we're working to get some more details about that other shooting.
It happened so fast, but yeah, he pushed me out the way, and I think he got the blood of it all.
Tennessee State University football player killed in a hit and run, pushing his girlfriend out of the way to save her life. This is the story of Chazon Page, who played for TSU, and then before that, Lipscomb Academy.
Such a sad story here, but police are now searching for the driver of the speeding car, who witnesses say did not stop. Chazon Page was reportedly walking with his girlfriend and some other friends near Gallatin Pike, and that's when police say a red car, a sedan, or possibly a smaller size SUV sped towards them. Well, his girlfriend says he pushed her out of the way, and then ultimately he was hit and killed.
I saw him at the hospital last night, and I just told him to be strong. Just remember the good thing that he did for y'all, and just remember to smile.
The family telling Fox 17 News that any donations that you might be considering, please send them to the TSU football team. And by the way, detectives continue to work to find the driver of that car involved.
Yeah. Right now, we're going to check in with our Code Red meteorologist. It's going to be a hot one.
Oh, it definitely will. Almost identical to yesterday when it comes to the heat. Yesterday was 87. The record for that date was 89. So in comparison, yeah, for this time of the year, that was pretty warm, and today's going to be right there as well. We'll call for another 87-degree day. A few more clouds for the afternoon, but right now nearly unlimited sunshine and breezy. The wind will pick up, and so will the sniffles. Allergies are going to be very tough the next 5 days. Keep that in mind. We're going to be rough not just today and tomorrow, but also getting into Wednesday and Thursday. Our next chance for a few showers and storms will be on Wednesday itself, and that's going to bring in a possibility of a stronger storm or two. It's all dependent on what happens in the morning. If you wake up to some rain on Wednesday morning, the afternoon won't be as active. And then we go Thursday into Friday. Temperature's going to stay right near 80 degrees. If we hit that, that'll be all 5 days.
In this case, we want the showers, though, to wash the pollen away, as long as they're not severe.
We want that, and but the morning rain would be perfect for the pollen and to keep the severe storms away later in the day. So you want Wednesday morning rain, for sure.
Okay, fingers crossed on that.
Absolutely.